hard times make strong men. Right. When we see crap like this, you got to do something.
We being hanged, we being killed, and they love doing it.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless you all. Most High in Christ bless you all. And I truly mean that. I'm Bishop Yawasop, and let me go around the room, but I just want to first of all say welcome to the Bible, the Book of Our Fathers. All right, so I'm Bishop Yawasop, and I got some special brothers in the building. Let's go.
All praise and honor, Captain Gedaliah. All praise to the Most High. Happy to be here, Bishop.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
All praises. Shalom, Israel. Captain Nashon. Most High in Christ bless.
Shalom Israel, Al-Yikiel, Most High in Christ bless.
Hey, shalom, Officer Eli, Most High in Christ bless.
Hey, shalom, Israel, Officer Leon, Most High in Christ bless.
Okay. Eli came over there too, somewhere?
Yeah, he in the corner.
Okay, he in the corner. All right. Lord have mercy. They heard about the topic because they all flew up in here. Is that it?
Yes.
Well, all praise to the Lord. First thing I want to say is that we as fathers, we have a grave concern for our nation, and we have to address things that seemingly it's more than seemingly. Things are just way out of hand now, and like I've been saying for the past, I guess I would say maybe a year. Myself, I remember going back to what Bishop Kenai said. He said he goes on the no fellowship and he just rolling the finger like the Rolodex, fornication, adultery, all kind of, and it's every week. I mean, it is so bad now. And let me say this here too. Although I'm mentioning, because I'm pointing out the bad things, but in no way is that anywhere near the significant of numbers of us that's doing good things. Right. So I want to shout out to my sisters that are holding the line, doing the right thing. Same thing with the brothers. So I'm not speaking about you, but I'm speaking about that small element. Although it's small, it's still an element that we have to deal with. Right. So that's what brings us to the title of what we're dealing with tonight. But again, before I name the title, I'm making a point that we have to deal with these things, no matter how quote unquote minute the numbers may be. It's still bad enough because at the end of the day, that's somebody's daughter. At the end of the day, that's somebody's son. You understand? That's whoever falls into this category, they feel it. You understand? So it's important for us to address it. And Genesis, the 34th chapter, is not, to my understanding, I've been in this truth nearly 35 years, and we have not really. I mean, I'm talking about like made a full topic out of Genesis 34. Now, I'm not in passing. We definitely spoke on it. I remember Bishop Nathaniel spoke on it briefly at many different times. Bishop Kenai, the deacons, we all do, but when we began to really look at the attitudes of certain brothers and certain sisters particularly, we still see that we need to really dedicate some real spiritual muscle to dealing with the psychology behind this whole thing. So that's the reason why we're going to deal with it. So I'm going to get right into it. Tonight's topic, let's put the thumbnail. Well, I guess we got to get this out of the way. Come on, let's just get the formalities out of the way.
Israel United in Christ. We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a non-violent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus 5:1, King James Version.
Now, you know what, as you read that, because it said we must report all crimes, right? Basically. Right. And that's true, and we 100% believe that. I know I have to be particular with wordings, because you can't say certain words. You have to say grape, and you have to say essayed if you say the kind of assault that deals with the other gender. You know, there might be some times that I might just straight say it, but I want everyone to know that we are trying our best to be as sensitive as we can, because one of the things that I will say off the bat, that particular situation of I'll say it rape, that is the worst thing that could ever happen to a woman, right, or anybody, but to a woman to be violated that way. That is not something to play with, and that is not something to be trivialized. And I'm gonna talk about how that violent act is trivialized in certain circles, and I'm gonna deal with that. But we ain't trivializing that at all. We understand that violent act deserves its own protection. You understand what I mean? It is that's sacred ground. You don't get to trivialize that because you have another agenda or subterfuge, I would say, and we're going to go into that as well. People highlight that because they want to keep other things going. That needs to be left alone. The trauma and the terror that happens with that thing and the feeling of being violated. And I'm talking about a real violation. I ain't talking about someone enticing you. I'm talking about a real violent act. That is nothing to play with. Your hands boil, your head boil with anger when you hear about sisters, women, that get that happen to them. So I'm just saying that this is nothing to play with. So we're going to deal with that. Okay. So I just want to just briefly say that. Now put the thing back up there again. The 5 and 1, the Leviticus, just for a second. Just what you just said. The disclaimer. Just quick. I need y'all to be fast. Come on, because I got a lot to bring out. Can we put the disclaimer back on the board, please?
The disclaimer, come on.
Okay. All right. You see the part in there where it says, we do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, gender. We mean that. We mean that.
Yes, sir.
So for anyone to even talk about that loosely is out of their damn mind.
That's right.
Okay, that is a violent act, and damn it, if we hear about it, your ass going to jail. I'm just telling you straight. We want your ass locked up fast. Okay, and anybody that even think to condone something like that, they got to get it.
That's right.
Period. You can't bring that mess around us. So I just wanted to say that from the offset. But that doesn't change where we're going tonight.
Yes, sir.
Go back to the thumbnail. I just needed to say that because I'm going to give my opening statement and then we're going to get it in with the scriptures. Daughters of Dinah or daughters of Sarah? That's what we're dealing with. Are we either going to deal with sisters who got the mind of their mother, of their foremother Sarah, which means they're going to do the right things. The Bible talks about all of the great things that the daughters of Sarah do and how they are not afraid with any amazement. I just use that just to sum that part up. How they keep themselves, how they make sure that they stay out of troubles and stuff like that, and know how to deal with their husbands, like what it said. And the elder, give me that real quick. Let me just touch that. The elder women to teach the younger women. This is an example of the daughters of Sarah. I just want to read this before I get into my opening statement, because we got to deal with the abuse. Let me put it that way. We got to deal with the abuse of what is insinuated in reading Genesis, the 34th chapter. That's what we're going to talk about, okay? Because this is not a laughing matter, but we need to clear up the BS. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Read.
The book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness.
The aged women take after our foremother Sarah. That's the point there. Read that again.
The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness. Not false accusers.
Not false accusers. These are one of the things that the daughters of Sarah would do. They would not be false accusers. They would not be gossiping, lying, nothing. There'd be no guile in their mouth. They'd be dealing with their husbands properly, the whole nine. Dealing with their fathers properly, the whole nine. Read.
Not given to much wine.
Not giving to much philosophy, wine, and doctrines. They're not going to be trying to find out what's going on in the land over there.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Teachers of good things.
They'll be teachers of the laws of God, how they are to keep themselves, how they are to maintain their purity, how they are to maintain their mindset that they were brought up in their household under their mothers and fathers until their father gives the daughter away for a husband to take her. She's going to keep that mindset. She's going to keep that righteous spirit. That's what a daughter of Sarah would do. Read on.
That they may teach the young women to be sober,
To be sober. Go ahead.
to love their husbands,
To love their husbands. These women have to be taught that. The daughters of Sarah are willing to be taught that. Go ahead.
to love their children,
To love their children. Come on.
to be discreet,
To be discreet, not having it behind all in the street. To be discreet. Go ahead.
chaste,
Chaste.
keepers at home,
Know how to take care of the house. Go ahead.
good, obedient to their own husbands,
Obedient to their own husbands. Come on.
that the word of God be not blasphemed.
That's how you know that the word of God will not be blasphemed, because these daughters of Sarah is going to do the right thing. They're going to be good examples of their foremother Sarah, even as she obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, for an example. Okay, so is that it on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let me get into it. We get ready to get into it. I got a lot of insight coming from this table. I know we're going to get it in.
Yes, sir.
Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, so again, daughters, put the thumbnail back up there again. Daughters of Dinah or daughters of Sarah? We just briefly touched on the daughters of Sarah, but I want to talk about the daughters of Dinah, because this don't get talked about often. And I said the daughters of Dinah. Now, you might be asking and say, well, why are you talking about the daughters of Dinah? Because the daughters of Sarah obviously had children and came down to the lineage, with Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and all that. So there was children that came literally from the womb of Sarah. But you don't necessarily hear that on Dinah's side. You don't read about her having children at all. But spiritually, the certain percentage of women that I was talking about earlier, even in our camp, even in our congregation, we have women that's following the psychology of Dinah.
Right.
And I know everybody want to venerate her as a raped victim, but we getting ready to deal with all of that. You ain't gonna have no doubt. You're probably gonna get mad as hell because you ain't gonna be able to use certain things to continue to promote promiscuous living when we go through this properly.
Bring it
But you
out.
just got to be mad. Sorry. Me, I don't care. Got to deal with how I got to deal.
That's
I
right.
hope
That's
y'all
right.
appreciate that. As a
Yes,
father,
sir.
as a leader, as an elder, as brethren, we are the spiritual fathers. We are actual fathers. All of that. We are brothers. We are protectors. We are vanguards for our whole nation, and that includes you sisters too. I hope you are up to what we're about to bring out tonight. Okay, so daughters of Dinah. I put a little acronym DOD. Dinah got did because of her rebellion. She definitely knew better than to wander off, but she did it anyway. That's really what the whole chapter is about.
Right.
I just gave you the whole chapter
Right.
in just one line, but we're gonna go through it. So
That's right.
there's no argument, no nothing. Even though verse 3 comes after verse 2.
Right.
Damn.
That was wild. And we're going to deal with that too, because I'll just say this off the rip. And I should have wrote this down. The book of Genesis, chapter 1, right? Then you have chapter 2. Chapter 2 basically explains what happened in chapter 1.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's what, because it seemed like there was some confusion. Brother woke me up the other morning, and we're going to get to that. It's way down in the line, way down in the lesson. Brother woke me up and he said, he said, Bishop, somebody's mad that you brought out Genesis 34, and because I said Dinah wasn't raped. And the brothers went in on it and proved it that ain't, because the Bible doesn't say that. That's number one.
Right.
And when you read through the chapter, you will clearly see that wasn't the case. But what we're going to find out is that Dinah was defiled, and the defilement began in the mind. The third verse just explained what happened in the second verse, just like chapter 2 of Genesis explains in detail what happened in chapter 1.
Right.
Right.
Okay? For an example, in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, it says, and the Lord, no, what did it say? And the Lord, get that,
Make
make
man
man
in
in
his
our image.
I
That's
got
the
you.
part, right. So just read it. I'm just giving an example.
Genesis, the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image.
So that's in chapter 1. Now give me chapter 2. I ain't going to stay on this. I'm just going to make my point. Chapter 2, verse 7.
Genesis 2 and 7.
2 comes after 1, does it not?
Right.
The second chapter explains in detail what chapter 1 was about. Read.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
That's how he made man in his image, because he's getting ready to bring it out now. Go ahead.
And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
The image that God put in Adam was to have the mind of a God. That was when he made Adam a living soul. So it's explaining what he did in the first chapter.
That's right.
Okay, so two come after, comes after one, and it's explaining what one is. So when we read Genesis 34, when we get to the third verse, it's expounding what happened in the second verse. It just gave more detail to it. So I just want to say that because there was some brothers tore behind up, rightfully so, because the woman was disrespectful as hell and all of that. So she came on with a matriarch, and I'm not trying to put her on blast. I really don't get into that thing, but I'm going to say what it is. A very matriarchal spirit, did not want to deal with, did not want to honor men, brothers. You understand?
She hated
disrespect,
hated the patriarchs.
hated the patriots. So I'm listening to that before. Like I said, I had to be brought into it because brother got me up to check it, and I'm listening to it. I'm listening to her demeanor before the question even came up, and then when she got to it, couldn't win the argument at all. And just basically said, we just have to disagree. And Judd basically said, no, you're wrong and we're right. And boom, that was the end of it. So I just leave that there. Now, so let's go back to the lesson. I'm going to make this point with the opening statement. Okay, my opening statement about the subject that we're dealing with. Some may ask the following: why are you brothers even discussing such a topic? Because like I said, it's not really, we don't hear about it too much. Although we do talk about it, but it's not dedicated like we're going to dedicate this tonight. Why are you discussing such a topic? And my immediate answer would be, with all of the incidents of adultery and fornication from daughters fleeing from their father's protection, because we get this. It's not wild and crazy, but we get these things from time to time. When these same girls flee from their father's protection, they don't want to hear the father's advice or nothing. They end up losing their virginity, end up getting pregnant, and then they're trying to start their lives on a path to. They're trying to start their lives, and they're starting their lives on a path to ruin, try to cover up that action with a backdoor marriage. The fathers are trying to prevent that from all their daughters. We want to make sure that our daughters do the right thing. We don't want them fleeing from our protection and then get caught up in some madness, and all of a sudden we losing all kinds of sleep.
Right.
We don't want to go through that. Okay, I said so because of that. We were compelled to look deeper into the psychology of what makes this so prevalent in our nation as a whole. And I'm talking about, when I say as a whole, not only in Israel, but even in the world. This is a huge problem, okay? And the further reason, and perhaps the most important issue, is to raise the important issue to raise is to not trivialize the violence of rape into a nefarious attempt or subterfuge to keep abortions legal because of promiscuous women. Mm-hmm. You get that? Yes, sir. The only reason why the subject about what if she's raped comes up is because when the chambers of the abortion clinic is on the verge of being closed, they want to keep it open by bringing up rape cases. In other words, because it would not have a leg to stand on. Follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
If you have the authority saying, listen, we're not going to keep abortions legal at all because what y'all are doing, y'all out here having promiscuous sex, right, indiscriminate breeding and all that kind of stuff, and babies all over they're saying things like this because they're saying it's causing all kinds of problems, those kinds of things. So, and they say, well, because you don't know how to discipline your own body, we're going to stop you from doing that. Yep. So they said, well, don't stop it because what about the people that got raped?
And and all that
yeah, exactly. The reason why I'm upset with that is because they would rather go and grab such a violent act just to quote unquote give credence to promiscuity. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They want to go. That's sacred. Those women that have been violated, truly violated, leave those sisters alone.
Yes.
Right.
Leave them women alone. You try to find some other reason to justify that, but leave those real rape victims alone. But they're throwing it up there, and then come to find out when you do the research on it, not even 1% out of less than 1% of abortions are done because of rape. More than 99%, 99.5% is because. And we're gonna read this. I got the results.
I got the data.
I got the data. So my point is, for women for promiscuous women to be that damn diabolical, to basically reopen the wounds of those who have been raped. You evil as hell. Why don't you just discipline your behind and listen to your father? That's the purpose of why we're doing this tonight.
That's it.
Okay, so now let's get right to the scriptures. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. Y'all want to bring out anything real quick?
I just want to say that,
Come on,
Bishop, the mindset. Think about the mindset of a woman that will go to the extreme just to justify their behavior. Because a lot of times, those women that say such things have never been raped. They don't even know anyone that's been raped. But they will use that. We've been on Clubhouse many years going over topics regarding black women and promiscuity and so on and so forth. And the abortion thing will come up oftentimes.
Right.
You even did a really good class a few years ago about how many babies. I remember you brought it out.
19
million babies. You said, there go your votes right there.
Yeah.
There go your votes for Kamala Harris right there. Remember they was all up in arms about it?
I was in Miami when it did that.
Yeah, I remember that. So what I'm saying is that if a woman will go to that extreme just to continue to justify and feel okay with the behavior of being a whore, that type of woman right there will slit your throat.
Exactly.
She'll kill you.
Right.
Because she will go to any lengths possible to continue to live the lifestyle that she lives in. That's a demonic spirit.
Right.
Exactly. And they will always run. They will run to Dinah. They say, well, Dinah was raped. Shechem just snatched her up and violated her. When we're going to find out that it wasn't like the way y'all are trying to spin it for the purpose of you continuing to be promiscuous. We already know. We know the runners. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So again, I want to reiterate that our objective is for all of us that are thinking that way, repent, sisters. I'm even talking about you ones that are rebellious as hell. You need to repent. We ain't trying to condemn any of you. I'm even the one on Clubhouse. Someone said that she was in the body, I think.
At one time.
Oh, man. I heard about it.
Yes, sir.
So that explained the disdain that she has for the brothers.
There you go.
I figured it out. Because once I heard that, I said, okay, that explains it. Because there's order with us. You got a dress code, and I hear she didn't want to deal with none of that. So that matriarchal spirit, she just didn't want to deal with none of the rules and the quote unquote dictates and the order. She didn't want to deal with none of that. So she came on and attacked the brothers from the gate. Attacked the brother. What's his name? Boss man. Attacked him. Attacked Judd. This is crazy. Before the question even came out, I said, well, there's that matriarchal Christianity spirit right there. So I'm going to leave that alone because somebody might think I'm angry, but I'm not. Read that.
2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness.
And some women count slackness. They don't realize there's a judgment for wrongdoing. There's a judgment for going against God's commandments.
That's right.
There's a judgment for going against the behavior of how you sisters are supposed to be or how you brothers are supposed to be. There's a judgment for that. Go ahead.
But is long-suffering to usward.
The Lord is long-suffering to the whole nation of Israel, all 12 tribes. I'm talking about the whole nation, not just the two, not just the 1/3. He's long-suffering. He wished all of us could repent. Read that.
Not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
So if the Lord is trying to plead mercifully to even our rebellious sisters, so am I. Well, we're not going to get on a personal trip and be mad on our end where the Lord says we want to try to save these women. Right. So we got the deal how we got the deal. But we ain't going to play with you. I'm just tell you right now. We're going to give you the word of God. Whether you like it or not, that's up to you. Okay? So now, give me the book of Sirach, chapter 42, verse 9. 42, verse 9.
Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 42, verse 9. The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth.
This is now the father here could also talk about spiritual fathers.
Yes, sir.
We are the spiritual fathers to many of these sisters because a lot of the, I mean, when you really, because this subject can get so vast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you, because we have a lot of sisters that come in the body and they literally didn't have fathers bringing them up. So we become their, I guess what they might say, surrogate fathers or spiritual, you know, that we become their fathers. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And our objective is to protect them. So we worry about them too. And it's a big disappointment when these sisters come in and they go off on Skid Row. That hurts us.
Yep.
Skid Row.
What you got?
Damn.
Well, Bishop, they don't realize that you actually leadership is up in wee hours of the night
Yes.
because of issues and things like that that's going on with families and particularly, the single sisters and stuff to determine, okay, how do we help? They don't realize that this scripture applies. It's not just because this is your biological father. Spiritually, the leadership is up dealing with how do I deal with this particular issue? How do we aid this sister or brother in this situation? Mm-hmm. They don't realize that.
That is true, because that's what the fathers, we are up at night all the time. I mean, as recent as last night.
I was just about to say that.
Recent as last night, we just got another report. Mm-hmm. And the brothers is like, damn, man, that just come right on time. So it's like this, we have to do this. Right. This lesson was written before I got the news. I wrote this lesson complete yesterday, and then yesterday daytime. Early this morning, I got that news. So another one of our sisters is on the damn skids.
Mm-hmm. Hey Bishop, while these brothers and sisters is talking ish, while they talking ish at 3 a.m, we up worrying about problems, worrying about our sisters, worrying about our brothers, dealing with the issues, actually trying to fix the solutions. Fix the problems that we have with the solutions that come out of the Bible. Meanwhile, they sleep.
Even in conversations with your rib, you just sitting there talking to your rib, and then it just pop in your head. Hey, how is sister such and such doing?
Right,
exactly. Just randomly, and it's because we constantly are thinking about the welfare of the congregation, the men and the women, but in particular the sisters, because that's what we're talking about right here tonight. Yes, exactly. But these sisters don't get that. Exactly. They don't get it.
Right. Now, I know one thing somebody would say, well, you getting on the sisters, when you going to get on the brothers? I ain't going to get on the brothers tonight. Right. But the brothers here, hey, wait a minute. The brothers here know that I got a subject lined up for the brothers, too. I told you all about it earlier. But
yes, sir.
Today ain't the brothers' day. Well, not all of them. Because some brothers contribute to the madness that we're dealing with now. But we're going to stay focused on Dinah and the daughters of Dinah. So that's my point. We're going to get with the brothers, but that's another time. So don't.
Bishop, before we leave that point,
come on, bring it.
I want to touch on Hebrews 13 and 17. Like we were saying, the leaders are the fathers of these sisters. That fathers not in this truth. So watch how when we read this scripture, it's the same attributes of a father, a biological father. Read that.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 17.
Come on.
Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls.
So the father got rule over the daughter. The daughter's supposed to submit herself to her father. Come on.
For they watch for your souls.
That's what the father's supposed to do. But we're talking about the leaders of the body. Come on.
As they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief.
Because the father don't want to give an account for his daughter with grief. It's the same attributes of a father. Come on.
Exactly.
But that is unprofitable for you.
That's unprofitable if we got to give a account with grief, a bad report for our daughters. Yep. So this is the same attributes as a father. Go ahead, Bishop.
Come back with that, Sirach.
Sirach, chapter 42, verse 9. The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth.
When no man knoweth, meaning everybody else sleep. The father's up. Okay? Just like you said, I'm having conversations early in the morning, 4 in the morning, waking up. Because of certain things. Because, we can't put our phones down.
Nope.
We can't. We get little buzzes here and there. Phones ringing because we got people overseas and they're up when we're asleep. Right. We got to deal with that too.
Right.
So when it rings, we read it and sick, and I said, "Damn, we got to deal with this." And I'm trying to call brothers to see if they're awake with me and all that, and we got to start dealing. Stuff like that. No, that's how it be. The wife be right there.
You up? I'm
and
up
I said, listen, I got to go in another room because I know you trying to sleep. Whatever. Yes, sir. And I got to go in a whole nother room and start. Yep. And start dealing. That's the reality of what happens with us. Okay, so we ain't playing games. We're really trying to look out for you sisters. Look out for you brothers. So this is a real deal.
We got the night shift, Bishop, overnight shift.
That's
in
right.
IUIC.
That's right.
It's been a few times Bishop hit me up. You up? You up?
Right.
Yeah.
You up?
See, I ain't jiving.
I'm up now.
You see somebody read that message. It was, he up.
Yeah. Right. Yep. I'll be on it.
You see them 2 checks? It's like, you got me.
That's it. That's what I look for. That means they answered me.
Yes, sir.
So I didn't know about these things. I'm not tech savvy, but now I know about them 2 checks. I'll send something out, and I see the second one out. I said somebody.
Oh, he up.
Yeah, he up. So there you go.
He knows.
He knows. So read.
The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep.
Go ahead.
When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age.
What that part mean? yet she's young, and then she passed the flower of her age. That means because if she does some wrongdoing, chances are she ain't going to get married. Mm-hmm. Chances are she's going to go through all her years as a posse hole, getting banged, such and such. You understand? Yep. Then she gets to the part where her men, what is that, past the flower of her age, she can't have kids no more.
Yes, sir.
And a father is trying to prevent that. There's a window that women are that are given, and we want to make sure that she's preserved for that situation.
That's right.
But if she's acting all wild, she's not paying attention to what's going on with her body. Mm-hmm. Certainly the people out here that's abusing the hell out of her, they ain't thinking like that for her. They're not thinking that way at all. So read that again. Lest she should what?
When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age.
Go ahead.
And being married, lest she should be hated.
Her father would hate her because she'll end up having to resort to whoever would take her, basically. You understand? Yes, and then because they didn't prove properly, they're going to end up hating each other. Give it a year or two or whatever, then the real them going to start coming out. And it's total mess. A father is trying to prevent that from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, read.
In her virginity, lest she should be defiled.
In her virginity, lest she should be defiled. This is the part I want to get to. In her virginity. She's young, she's a virgin, and it says, lest she should be defiled. You know what that means? Some man got a hold to her head and defiled her in her mind.
Yep.
And put his spirit on your daughter. Mm-hmm. Put his spirit on your daughter. Read the next part.
And gotten with child.
That's when he actually slept with her. So now she's gotten with child. Read.
In her father's house.
So here's the father dealing with a daughter that's got a baby from a man outside. You supposed to, you done lay with her. She's supposed to be yours.
That's right.
But if I'm looking at the type of thing that she laid down with, I'm got a choice. I got to be like, well, I can't let her go with you. You're going to completely kill her. Now I got to deal with this mess that has been made because you went out there and let this man defile you in your spirit. I got a woman in the house that's got another man's spirit on her, and she's supposed to be my daughter.
Damn.
That's what that statement. Read that statement again.
And her
gotten with child.
Yes, sir. And gotten with child.
So if she's gotten with child, whose child did she have? The man that she slept with. So if she slept with that man got his spirit on her, but yet she's in your damn under your roof.
Damn.
With another man's spirit on her. This is totally evil as hell.
Yep.
But that's the reality.
That's the reality.
That's why the father is up. I don't want that. That's what he's saying in his mind. I don't want that.
Right.
That's where his spirit will be. Here she is in the house with another man's spirit on her with his child in my damn house.
Yep. Damn.
He's a goddamn bum. He should have took care of you. What the hell is you still doing in here? And you had a baby with this man with his spirit on you. You ain't acting like my daughter no more.
Right.
Damn.
And Bishop, even in that context, it's showing you that that defile means she gave up.
Oh, we gonna bring
she
up.
gave it up.
She gave it up. We gonna really get to all that. I ain't hit Genesis yet.
I know,
but come bring it out. Bring it out.
I know you're going back there, Bishop.
Pave the way. Pave the way.
Because it's saying she was a virgin. She had the purity. But now it's saying lest she should be defiled, meaning that purity, that virginity is gone.
That's it. That's the point.
It's
hit
gone.
it right on the head. That's what that's talking about.
And that's 90% or more of every Christian household.
Damn.
All of us grew up in this. We were talking to some little girl. We got into her head, had sex with her, and she went on back to her father's house.
Yep.
Now she rebelling against her daddy. She's sneaking out the house. She dressing provocatively. He trying to talk to her, and she don't want to hear nothing. Why? Because she got some little young nooker
In her head.
spirit in her head.
Now, give me Revelation 14:4 to back up what I'm saying. I had that further down in the lesson, but I'm going to throw it in here now.
She's been defiled. She's been enticed.
Right.
All of that.
We're gonna deal with all of that.
Revelation chapter 14 and verse 4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins.
So what is it telling you about the virgin mindset of the 144,000? In this context, it's talking about men. But it's letting you know the virgin mindset, meaning undefiled.
Right.
Okay? It said, these are they which were not defiled with philosophies. That's why it's saying women there. That were not defiled. So going back to Sarai, that's all I need there.
That's heavy.
Well, you know what? Read the rest of it. Read the rest of it. Read it all.
These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb.
That's what your daughter's supposed to do. She's supposed to follow what you teach her out the Bible. Right. She's supposed to follow that. Go ahead.
Whithersoever he goeth.
Whithersoever the father giving you the Bible, giving you the father and the mother giving you the Bible, because I know it's a team effort, the mother and the father. They're trying to instruct that daughter properly. She's supposed to be following that to the T.
And that goes back to the point that you just made, Bishop, about that spirit. Yes. These men never left that spirit of Christ.
That's it. That's the point.
That's the same thing that is saying what you just said, Bishop.
Exactly. That's why I went there, just to clear it up. So it's using the word, these were not defiled. So it ain't talking about sex. It's talking about the mind. There's scriptures that's talking about that. We're going to read that too. That's coming up. That's going to clearly show how the mind, the conscience is defiled, which basically explain what I just said. So that's what this is talking about here. Read that again in Sirach 42:10.
Sirach 42:10. In her virginity, lest she should be defiled and gotten with child.
So she don't have a virgin mind no more. Her mind is on the man that laid with her. So he defiled her. He humbled her. That's what that's talking about. He defiled her. She's no longer under your dictate as a father anymore. So you basically got a stranger in the house. At that point, you're supposed to be. It's supposed to be. I'm giving my daughter to you.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to be. You take over. And now I want your spirit to take over because I found you. I proved you as my son-in-law to make sure that you deal with my daughter properly. So now that I see you got that, you take over now. That's the kind of spirit that I want on her at that point. But you went and snuck. You're talking about something, you going to see what's happening over there in the land. Somebody else spirit on you, and you come back in the damn house. What kind of, that's going to bring nothing but turmoil.
Yes, sir.
Why the world I got this man's spirit on my daughter? What the hell is this? Okay, read that again.
In her virginity, lest she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house.
Go ahead.
And having an husband.
So she ended up getting married to somebody they did not properly prove it all. Go ahead.
Lest she should misbehave herself.
So she should misbehave herself. Go ahead.
And when she is married, lest she should be barren.
You see that? What you got to bring on that?
I'm just saying, Bishop, this is the back door.
This is the back door. This is exactly what this is.
This is the back
door.
Nothing was done right. Nothing. And then now she ends up, now she's pregnant. The father said, no, you got to go with him.
Right.
Exactly. That's the problem. And it's a wash after that. Complete mess. And that's what we have going on in our communities now. This kind of mess here. That's why I say it's not only is it in the congregations, the small percentage, but it's outside definitely. But this is a problem that's affecting our whole nation as a whole, whether they're in the truth or not. Okay? Verse 11.
Verse 11. Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter.
When she's shameless, that's her misbehaving.
That's right.
You got to clap that behind down, basically. And if she get too goddamn rebellious, get out. That's how I got to go. Get out. I don't want to see you no more. Get out. That's how it's got to be. Read that again.
Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she should make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies.
That's exactly what we're going to read. Okay? That's the resemblance. That's the result of what happens when they go and mess themselves up, and then they still got to come back with another man's spirit on them, and everybody in the house is trying to figure out, well, where's the righteousness in this? And there is none. And everybody's mocking you, mocking the Father, mocking every damn body. Read that again.
Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she should make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies.
Go ahead.
And a byword in the city.
Damn. Go ahead.
And a reproach among the people. And make thee ashamed before the multitude.
And that's exactly what happens. The parents of the daughter like this, they can't even hold their head up high.
Right.
Bishop, and that laughing stock part is like people in the world. The daughter go ahead and get pregnant, and the parents try to hide it and ship her off down south somewhere.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. How many people growing up, you had a sister from your neighborhood, and everybody be like, she a hoe.
Yeah.
You know
That's the bad reputation. Everybody knew that.
Right there.
I knew him in school.
That's the byword right there.
Imagine as a father, you hearing that throughout your
About
neighborhood.
your daughter.
About your daughter, right.
Yeah.
You hearing that throughout the neighborhood. This house, that house is all saying that about your daughter.
Could you
Everybody know.
Could you read the top of 11 one more time? Just that top part.
Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter.
Go back up to verse 9, the top part.
The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth.
See, you see the correlation there? The father's already, when she's young, worried about what could take place with his daughter. Her marrying a nooker, her getting in a relationship she shouldn't be in, her getting pregnant, her getting molested. All these things, a father's always thinking about those things. Then you get down to verse 11. After all the damage has been done, read verse 11.
Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter.
Now she done went out here and did something to make herself be shameless.
Exactly.
Now your watch, the watch that you once had that she would not have, the inevitable has happened. She has done it. And now you got to watch over even more tightly. Think about the fathers that are living in households like this, where their daughters got a spirit from another man on them, living in this house. Like Bishop said, you got a stranger in your house. She's not your daughter like she was when you was waking in the middle of the night, going to look at her bed to make sure she's okay, making sure the doors is locked. They don't understand what a father goes through in this.
Here's an example of a bad reputation. This is true. This happened when I was young. I had people that was, people in the neighborhood and all that. There was this sister that men ran through her, got her pregnant the first time, got pregnant the second time. She done had like 5 damn babies, ain't never been married once. And then her uncle came along and he said, damn, every time I see you, you damn pregnant. He said, a man can't even spit on you. And you gonna get pregnant. He said, "Man, spit on your ass and you get pregnant."
Damn.
That's the damn reproach that she got.
Wow. Damn.
That's what he said. I'm young. I'm hearing this, but he said, "Spit." Then I got it.
Right.
The spit represents,
That's right.
But that's what he was saying. He said, "Man, spit on you and you get pregnant." Okay, no husband.
Sad.
A whole bunch of children running around with no daddy. It was just horrible. It was just. But that's the bad reputation that sisters get when they run from the protection of their fathers. This is crazy.
And Bishop, when they say the shameless daughter, keep a sure watch, brothers got to check their daughter's social media pages.
Come on with it.
Because that's how a lot of these young girls get enticed. They're looking at these female rappers and so forth. A lot of parents are not up to technology, but the kids are hiding the evil on their social media pages. They live a different life.
Yep. Multiple page. They got multiple pages. They got the Israelite page, and then they got their whore page in the world.
Damn, whole page.
And know how to hide things under other pages.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Hiding stuff.
Yep. Yep.
And then when they get caught, they call themselves blocking people.
Yes.
Start blocking people.
Damn.
Unbelievable.
Damn.
Hit you with the block.
Yeah.
Hit you with
You
the
block now.
Sound
And
familiar,
you think you're hurting? Yeah, you think you're hurting us.
Right.
That's the worst thing about it. So, getting back to the topic, we've been on the topic, but we're just breaking it down.
Yes, sir.
So I guess here's where we at. So the question is, what happened to Dinah, and why sisters today are being warned not to follow after her example? This is what we're doing. We're trying to warn you, sisters, not to follow the example of our sister Dinah. Okay, she should have been a foremother.
Yes, sir.
She was Jacob's daughter, no doubt. Jacob and Leah, we understand all that. But what she did, I had to think about it. I said, why did God put this in the Bible? Why did this one chapter that deal with this here? This was to let us know how we need to make sure that our daughters don't follow this example. Because you don't really read nothing else about it after this. That's it. One other part, I think in like chapter 46 or something like that. Something like that when Israel went into the land. I think that's about it. You don't really read nothing else about her.
Right. That's right.
The Most High put that in there because he wanted us to think, and that's why we're going to deal with it tonight. Okay? Give me Wisdom of Solomon chapter 8. So the question is, like I said, what happened to Dinah? And why sisters are today, well, we're warning y'all today, why y'all being warned not to follow after Dinah's example? Because the sisters right now, they're just thinking she was innocent and she got snatched up and raped. That is not what happened. That is not the case. That's the reason why I have to bring it out that way. And when I say rape, I'm talking about that the Bible talks about rape. Now, I heard that part too. They said the Bible don't describe race. Yes, it does. It describes rape. Let's get that real quick. Give me Deuteronomy 22, I think it's verse 25 and 27. And I'm going to go over it again, but I'm going to read that so you'll know that the Bible does talk about it, but yet that did not happen to Dinah. Yeah, we're getting ready to turn it up.
Deuteronomy 22, verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field.
Now, it's making a point about a betrothed damsel because the verses before it was dealing with betrothed women and virgins and so forth. So it's given another category. But the reason why I stopped him from at that point was because it would not have mattered whether she was promised to be betrothed, mean that she's promised to a husband. The deciding factor in this verse that we're about to read is not the focus about whether she's being betrothed to somebody else. Because let me clear this up to make this point. It's not so much about that she's betrothed. It's just describing that particular situation. Because if she's not betrothed to another man, she is still under her father. My point is she still belongs to a man. Right. Your daughter belongs to the father before the betrothal. So she goes from her father to a husband. So in both cases, this verse applies. So it's mentioning betrothed there, but it also means the same thing if the daughter was not betrothed, because she still belongs to her father. So if a man violated her because she was betrothed to a husband, if she's not betrothed to a husband and you did the same to her, you did the same thing to her, the violation falls on the father. And that's what Exodus 22:16 and 17 was about. Right. Okay, read.
But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field,
whether she's betrothed or not, I'm putting that in there because I explained it. Go ahead.
And the man force her.
That's the point that I wanted to get to. And the man force her. It wouldn't make a difference if she was promised to be married or not, because you're not supposed to force a man's daughter either. You got some of these bum, evil-ass camps that talk about something you can rape women. These niggas are sick as hell.
Right.
Stay away from them kind of brothers. I'm telling you, women, these Negroes are dangerous as hell. I got to say it. I'm sorry. I had to jump the gun, man. I had to do it. Read that again.
Got to come out.
Some of these niggas are sick as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And the man force her.
That's rape. And the man force her. Listen to the difference between what happened to this sister and Dinah. Read.
And the man force her and lie with her.
And lie with her. Go ahead.
Then the man only that lay with her shall die.
Why is it saying that the man only that lay with her shall die? Because the woman could not overpower the man. That's the reason why this is such a. That's why women have to be protected, because they physically can't not fight off a man.
Right.
So there must be protection to protect them. Got to be.
Yes, sir.
You got to be. You got to be. Don't.
I'm sorry, Bishop.
Don't lose nothing. I want you to bring all that out. But my point is, read that again.
And the man force her and lie with her.
Come on.
Then the man only that lay with her shall die.
Then the man only, because he overpowered her. That wasn't words. That was a physical act.
Yes.
That was a physical act. Listen, this is going to prove that it was a physical act. Listen.
But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death.
There is no sin worthy of the damsel of death. This was not the situation with Dinah. Keep reading.
For as
this is the part that's going to clear it up. Read.
For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter.
So brothers that got rape on their mind, they're murderers. That's the bottom line. They're like black serial killers. That's what I'm going. That's why I'm looking at. That's why I'm going into that subject.
Yes, sir.
They're like black serial killers, because they'll do that to multiple women. That's a whole nother chapter. I'll deal with that down the line. I know I done sparked somebody and said, oh shit, let's go into that. Leave that to the side. I'm going to deal with that later. But my point is, read that statement again, because I'm going to get past it, and then I want y'all brothers to bring in what y'all going to bring in. Come on.
For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter.
Okay.
For he found her in the field.
For he found her in the field. She wasn't looking for him. She wasn't going to see the daughters of the land. She wasn't doing for none of that. Go ahead.
And the betrothed damsel cried.
And the woman cried. That's the difference. She cried. Go ahead.
And there was none to save her.
So she wasn't enjoying it. There was no enticing, none of that. She did not want it. She cried to get away from this man, but there was nobody to save her. You understand? That man has to be put to death.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The penalty for killing your brother is death. That's the reason why that penalty goes for a rapist. He must be killed. He must be killed.
It should be.
It should be. I'm saying must, so there's no thought about doing anything else. He has to be killed. Has to be. Have to say it that way. Have to say it that way. Now, bring out your points, brothers. I hope I didn't make y'all forget.
The psychological toll that
Yes.
it takes on a woman when she's raped. Most women you see, when they're molested or raped at a young age, that trauma carries throughout their life and it's interwoven in every decision that they make. The promiscuity, the alcoholism, the drugs, all of that stuff, the way they think, how overprotected they are of their children when they get all of that stuff, them not trusting a man, that trauma, your body takes count of trauma. Trauma, your body takes count of it. It keeps score, so to speak. People don't understand that about trauma. When you actually research psychology and trauma, it's a deep-rooted subconscious thing that is not always brought into the conscious until somebody shines a light on it, and that's what this Bible does. So that's why the Lord said, you killing her.
Yes, exactly.
You killing her.
That's a murder. That's a murder spirit,
murder.
and he has to die for that.
Got to die.
It got to. Okay? So, Eli, did you get your point?
Can you read verse 26 one more time?
Verse 26. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing.
Come on.
There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death.
Come on.
For as when a man riseth against his neighbor.
So that part right there, when a man rises against his neighbor, that's somebody violating your daughter. You didn't give your daughter to this person. They took it violently. They took the daughter from you. So, Bishop, you're right. That a person like that deserved death. You took something that was not given to you. And that's all.
Did you read verse 27? Yeah, you read 27, right?
Yes, sir. He did.
Okay. Now, I see 28, 29. I'm going to come back to that.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to come back to that.
I just want to read 25.
But if a man find the betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her.
That's physical.
That's what I'm talking about.
But it didn't go to the sex part. That's physical right there, right?
You're digging it up. Because the physical means he's punching her in the face. He's
holding her down.
Literally beating her until she can't fight no more.
Right. Read.
And lie with her.
Then he took her. So it's showing he got physical and then he laid with her. It's a steps. It was steps into it. It didn't just, because sometimes people read stuff in the scriptures and they don't look at the end, and they don't look at the continuation of the action. So I just wanted to point that out, Bishop, because I know you're getting ready to
Yes, sir. No. That's why I need all that stuff. There's so much stuff going on with this particular topic. I'm going to miss something. So I need all them heads to get up in here.
Yes, sir.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Because this is the topic of topics. Because this right here deals with family.
Yes, sir.
Okay, a lot of broken, psychologically broken women are all throughout our society. And they don't know which way to go. Most of them don't have fathers on no level. Physical father in the house, nor spiritual father. And they're growing up trying to figure it out. And then they get a brother with a murderous mind that won't deal with the sister right and just trash her whole life. And she live a whole life like that. And then she'll get to the point where she just don't care.
Yep.
Become a prostitute, be like, nobody cares about me. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible how some of these sisters end up.
Yeah.
You know. Working in the medical field, I've seen it. I've seen the damage of broken sisters.
Right.
Yep.
So it's a horrible thing. Wisdom of Solomon. Let's get it. Got to do this thing.
Chapter 8, Bishop.
Yeah, chapter 8, verse 1, and we're going to jump down. Because I don't want to. I wanted to read all of this, but I know how time going to slip. Read verse 1.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 1.
So the question is, what happened to Dinah? That's what we get ready to deal with. So we're getting ready to go into the chapter. But there's certain things about what I'm reading here in Wisdom of Solomon that's going to help us figure it out. Okay? Read between the lines, as they say.
Yes, sir.
We're going to bring all that information out. The Most High put it in there for us to reason and find out about it. Okay? We're going to talk about that. Read.
Wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily, and sweetly doth she order all things.
So the subject matter is about wisdom. And wisdom doth order all things aright. Okay, read.
I loved her and sought her out from my youth. I desired to make her my spouse, and I was a lover of her beauty.
Meaning wisdom. Come on.
And that she is conversant with God. She magnified her nobility. Yea, the Lord of all things himself loved her. For she is privy to the mysteries of the knowledge of God.
That's what wisdom will do. Wisdom will give you knowledge on things. With experience and all that, you'll learn all of that. When wisdom is working with you. Come on, watch. Read.
And a lover of his works. If riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom? that worketh all things.
That's what we need to be desiring. I'm gonna go through it. I'm going through it fast so we can get
Yes,
on
sir.
the track. Keep on.
And if prudence work, who of all that is a more cunning workman than she?
Meaning, then wisdom. Wisdom is what you need. Come on.
And if a man
And
loves,
wisdom comes with age and experience, by the way. Okay? Because the Most High allows us to filter. You know, when we read the Bible, there's certain things in this Bible that resonates with us because of the experiences that we've been through.
Right.
We could talk about trauma when we read about traumatic situations in the Bible because we can relate to it. We've been through it. That's why I'm using my work experience and stuff to bring out certain things because as I read these things, I can see what's actually here.
right.
I can reason and see that. We're going to talk about that. Keep reading.
And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues, for she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. If a man desire much
Read that
experience,
7th verse again.
and if a man love righteousness,
Go
her
ahead.
labors are virtues.
Go ahead.
For she teacheth temperance and
So
prudence.
wisdom teaches us temperance and teaches us how to be temperate with certain situations where we ain't flying off the handle and break somebody's spirit. I know sometimes the teaching is hard sometimes, you know, but we do that because we got to reach you as a father would reach you. We got to talk straight words to you to wake you up. Right. Okay, temperance. Read.
and prudence.
And prudence, being wise. We know when prudence means to know when to bring forth judgments, when to do this, when to apply that. Go ahead.
Justice and fortitude.
Go ahead.
Which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life.
So you need those things. You need to be temperate. You need to know how to deal with justice and prudence. You need that. Come on.
If a man desire much experience,
If a man desire much experience, listen.
she knoweth things of old.
She knoweth things of old. This is where the experience comes in. Even if you listen to the old folks, listen to your fathers and so forth, they can give you a lot of insights that you would not normally know. Go ahead.
And conjectureth
That's
aright.
the word I want to get to. And because you know these things, because you have wisdom, because you have experience, you have age, you have a whole lot of things, and you can piece things together. You've seen how things play out. That gives you the ability to do what?
And conjectureth aright what is to come.
You can see how things are going to come based on your experiences. You can conjecture. So we can read in Genesis 34 and see what happened. Yeah, let's look the word conjecture up.
That's a good word. Conjecture, number 1A. Inference formed without proof or sufficient evidence. A conclusion deduced by surmise or guesswork. The example
That ain't good enough.
Right.
I've seen a better definition of that, but that's okay. I'll take that. Because it's not saying that you just made up something.
Right.
Okay?
It's discernment.
Inference. That's the word
Inference,
there.
right.
Inference is
Right.
formed without look up the word infer. That's the root word of inference.
That's it.
Bam! There it is right there.
Yep.
What?
Infer. To reach as a conclusion based on facts or premises.
So that's what our inference is about. Our inference is reliant upon our experience, the things that we've been through, our age. It taught us many things, and then we can read about a particular situation. We can read the levels of what we're reading, and we can deduce what happened. That's what conjecture means. We can conjecture the outcome based on what we see. That's what they do in law enforcement and detectives and all that kind of stuff. Or profilers.
Yep.
Like they call so what they call it? Psychic? No, not psychiatric. Psychological profilers, when they're trying to profile what this person might do based on their history, based on the things around them and all that. You can come with a psychological profile.
His M.O.
His M.O. You can figure that out just by looking at the certain tenets within his own being. And the tenets could be what you gain from experience, what you gain as age, those kinds of things. All right. So I just say those things off the rip. Y'all got something?
So
Yeah,
Bishop, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that with the profiling, that's how they catch rapists,
Yes.
murderers,
Yes.
things of that nature. Police and detectives and people that have much experience in these things, they can see and map out how he's going to move, where he's going to go, what he's possibly thinking based off past experience and wisdom gained from that. And they can conjecture he's probably going to end up here because rapists or murderers usually do this.
Right. Exactly. That's how that's how they can get ahead of a violent crime by looking at the patterns of his thinking.
Yes, sir.
Read that real quick.
Yes, sir.
Don't let me forget the other points that I brought. We got to go back to inference and conjecture. Come on.
Yes, sir. A psychological profile is a behavioral and investigative tool that analyzes an individual's actions, motivations.
That's the word, motivations. Go ahead.
And personality traits.
There you go. Okay. Often used in criminal investigations to identify suspects. Okay, so I'm going to leave that alone.
So,
I mean, there's a lot there. You can read all the rest of it, but go ahead. What you got?
Bishop, on the other end, when it says you watch for her soul, you watch for your daughter's
Yes,
soul.
we do. We do this. We can see that the actions of these young
there you
daughters,
go.
we
There
know
you
what's
go.
going to happen to them.
Yep.
That's the point.
Yep.
That's how we get ahead of it. They said by the spirit that girl has on her, she's going to end up pregnant before such and such. That's it. That's how we know. Because we've seen it happen already. It's based on experience. It's based on what we see. I said, the way this girl is rolling, even though it has not happened yet, give it a year, give it 6 months, whatever. We know how it's going to go because we've seen the pattern in others. We're psychologically profiling people all the time.
Yes, sir.
Because we're trying to look after them. That's how we conjecture where they're, what's that word? Thing that deals with the path, trajectory.
Yeah.
How we can figure where their lives might go.
We can see point
We can
A
see the
to
point.
A,
We can see that.
Point B. Right.
Go ahead, Cap.
Okay, I was just going to say, could you read Proverbs 20 and 11 real quick? Because what Bishop just said about looking at a child. And remember, brothers and sisters, when you come into the truth, you are a child. You are a young child. You are an infant baby. If you're in the truth 5 days, you're 5 days old. If you're in the truth 3 years, you're 3 years old. When you look at it like that and humble yourself like that, you can receive instruction. But when you think that you know more, that's when you get caught up in these instances like what we're going over right now. Can you read that real fast?
Yes, Proverbs chapter 20, verse 11.
Yes, sir.
Even a child is known by his doings.
Even a child is known by his doings. Go ahead.
Whether his work,
Right there.
whether his work be pure and whether it be right.
That's when Bishop is saying
That's
you
exactly
watch the
it.
spirits
You
in the
watch it,
congregation.
You can see.
You can see it.
You can see. So, like I said, we're psychologically profiling all the time, and we can conjecture which way they're gonna go.
That goes back to that point you had made, Bishop. You said going through life, you learn these experiences, and you use the Bible to magnify them because you've been through them already. That goes into the body. A lot of times we see a lot of we talking about the sisters. We see sisters going off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we say, "Oh yeah, watch that sister."
Right, exactly.
You can
I
see.
said,
You can see the things.
She looks like she's troubled. She looks like she got something going on at home or at school or whatever. We can pick those things
Pick
up.
it up.
And Bishop, like even when we look at the sisters in the body on their social media, you go, damn, yo, she always posting a lot of selfies, and she's always her face is always out there. You could kind of see.
Want to be out there?
Yeah, we could see certain spirits in her, you know, based on social media now.
Yep.
Okay. Read. Go get those parts again. Don't worry, brothers. I have not forgotten the topic. We this is all part of it. I got to build up to it, but we coming in. We're gonna get it all in. I'm respecting everybody. Okay, trying to go back
Wisdom
to
of Solomon?
y'all had the thing on the board, the inference and all that. We need to get them parts out. Come on, brothers. Stay with me.
Put infer.
We dealt with the psychological profiler. Now we're dealing with inference or infer. Okay, I saw it at the top, brothers. I just saw it.
Let's go back to where you was at.
Did it? Was that it? Read that.
Infer. To infer is to reach a conclusion or form an opinion based on facts,
Based on facts of what we've seen with our experience. Go ahead. Evidence.
or reasoning rather.
See that word there? Reasoning. That's in the Bible. We're gonna talk about reasoning in a minute. Or reasoning. Go ahead.
Rather than direct observation.
Because people lie.
Right.
Direct observation, people can lie. But if you got enough experience, you got enough prudence, you got enough of those things, you can tell whether you being deceived. You can see, like brothers be trying to deceive sisters. We can see behind the mask. Because we've seen your kind before. That's how we would say. We know, as we would say, we know niggas like this.
We used to beat niggas.
We used to be, so we know. Our experience taught us that. That's the point. Okay, so now go back to the other one. Go ahead, finish it.
It involves deducing information from clues or hints, such as guessing someone's mood from their tone of voice.
See that? So that's perfect. Okay, so that's infer. Now go back to the other one. We're going all the way to 9 o'clock, probably a little bit after 9. We're going to stretch this all the way. We're going to get all the points in. So to my brothers and sisters who's watching that think that we're going to cut short, nope, we're going in.
Not today.
Not today. So we're trying to be thorough. Come on.
A psychological profile is
No, we read this already, didn't we?
Conjecture.
Oh, you want the scripture?
Yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon 8?
No, he was on the definition.
conjecture.
I was on the definition. I wanted to get these out so we can get back to the Bible.
Conjecture.
There was a thing that said infer. Where was that at? I was looking at that. So we go to inference. So this is how we got here. Conjecture. Read that, and then we're going to get what. Then we could get the other thing that I just saw. Read that.
Conjecture. A. Inference formed without proof or sufficient evidence.
So the reason why I wanted to go into the specifics of that, because the way that's written, it make you think it's just pure guesswork. That is not based on sound experience. It's not based on prudence. It's not based on age. That's the reason I didn't like this definition. That's the reason why I said, but look at the word. It said inference. So we are inferring. So infer, go back to the other one. To the one that I looked at earlier.
Infer, y'all.
Infer. I know I'm jumping all over the place.
No, you went to inference. Go to conjecture definition. Go there. Go to inference. And then it was infer.
No, they actually typed infer in.
Okay, come on. So we don't lose the point, because I gotta read that chapter. We got to go through that. We get ready to deal with it now. Okay, that was it. Read that.
To infer is to reach a conclusion.
No, didn't we just read this, right? Was it?
Yeah.
What was it that I was looking at?
That was it, Bishop.
Okay.
That was it.
To infer means to reach a conclusion or form an opinion based on facts. Yeah, this is what I needed. Based on facts, evidence. So it's not just guesswork. That was the point. All right, we can come out of all of this. I think we made the point, correct?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Because that in front of that definition gives you that it's based off of facts,
Right.
and evidence,
Right.
and reasoning.
Right. Exactly.
So it kind of mitigates the last part of that
yes,
definition.
but I'm saying right. Perfect. Exactly. All right, so read that 8 verse again.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse 8. If a man desire much experience, she knoweth things of old,
She knoweth things of old.
and conjectureth.
And you can conjecture. You can infer with facts, with experience, with things that you've been through. You can deduce what's coming up because based on what you see. That's what wisdom does. That's what fathers do.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Read that again and we going to move on.
If a man desire much experience, she knoweth things of old, and conjectureth aright what is to come.
That's the point right there, Bishop.
That's it.
All right.
The right way on what
Yeah.
is to come.
Right.
So we can read Genesis 34 and we could tell what happened in there between the lines.
Based off of facts,
Of things
evidence,
that we see.
and,
Exactly.
and reasoning.
And reasoning. You got it. Thanks, Sue, for tying it all together for me.
Heavy on the reasoning.
Yes, sir. We're gonna show you how important reasoning is in a minute. Did we finish that verse?
She knoweth the subtleties of speeches.
She knows wisdom gives you the subtlety, so we can tell when somebody's lying to us. Like we be in judgment. You can tell the dude is lying.
Yep.
We know it. We can tell the sister ain't really feeling it. We can tell by her demeanor. We know it because we've seen it before. Go ahead.
She knoweth the subtleties of speeches, and can expound dark sentences.
And we can expound on some sentences when we go through this chapter. Go ahead.
She foreseeth signs and wonders, and the events of seasons and times.
So we're getting ready to deal with all that right now. Okay, so we're in that pot. Everybody's with me?
Yes, sir.
All praises to the Lord.
Top G in here.
Huh? Yes, sir.
Oh, you crazy.
Give me King Leopold's letter. Give me, because this is what the problem is when it comes to matriarchal-led churches. Christianity is a matriarchal church led by women.
Yes, sir.
And men basically have no power in the church, in the Christian church. Okay? And what we're about to show you here, I ain't got to read all this. Everybody should get this. It's like 4 or 5 pages to this. It's a lot of information. The letter from King Leopold II of Belgium to the colonial missionaries. So this was a letter that was given to his what they call them, missionary murderers.
Yep.
That went to pillage islands and give them Christianity to destroy their minds so that they can't think properly. That's basically what this letter is about. Okay. There's a lot of good information in there, but I just want to get right to the point. Give me the third paragraph, same page. Just go down. Your actions. Go ahead. Right.
Yes, sir. Your actions will be directed essentially to the younger ones.
Is that it? Read the one before that. Your knowledge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is what's told to the missionaries on how to subject the people who they want to make slaves.
Right.
Read that.
Your knowledge of the gospel will allow you to find text ordering and encouraging your followers to love poverty.
So that's one of the things they did. We're not supposed to desire to have anything. We're supposed to be just wallowing to nothing and not try to do anything for ourselves. Give us a low mindset.
The hood.
They're telling these missionaries to destroy our will to want to do anything great. Love living in squalor. Love being on the bottom. And tell them that they're going to get pie in the sky when it's all over. That's what they do. That's what church is all about. Read that.
And encouraging your followers to love poverty, like, happy are the poor because they will inherit the heaven. And it's very difficult for the rich to enter the kingdom of God.
So that is to make us not want to do anything to better ourselves. Go ahead.
You have to detach from them and make them disrespect everything which gives courage to affront us.
You hear this? To confront. So read that again. You have to do what?
You have to detach from them and make them disrespect everything which gives courage to affront us.
So anything that gives us courage, they said, cause these slaves to not want to do anything to better themselves. That's why they kill our leaders. Yep. That's why they get rid of all of the things that we could aspire to look up to, because that gives us some oomph to do something. That's the reason why they want to move against the leadership of IUIC, because they want our people to remain in squalor. They don't want them to have any kind of idea on uplifting themselves.
Right.
Go ahead.
Don't let them know that Christ is black.
Exactly. Stuff like that.
Bishop, this is Willie Lynch part 2.
Yes, exactly what it is. Come on.
I make reference to their mystic system and their war fetish, warfare protection, which they pretend not to want to abandon. And you must do everything in your power to make it disappear.
So we have some sense because we know that we need to protect our people. They say you need to get rid of that because they already have that in their spirit. Get rid of that. Go ahead.
Your actions will be directed essentially to the younger ones.
So they're looking to indoctrinate and defile our children. Yep. Come on.
For they won't revolt when the recommendation of the priest is contradictory to their parents' teachings.
Because if you already teach them to love nothing, to love garbage, they won't object when they actually contradict what their parents have taught. In other words, your children will go to school and they will teach them about white Christ, and they won't object to it even though we told them that Christ was black. Absolutely. That's what they're saying. Go ahead.
The children have to learn to obey what the missionary recommends. Who is the father of their soul?
Damn.
That's the kind of indoctrinating they do. So the children are completely defiled. You hear the defilement just in the statements. Read.
You must singularly insist on their total submission and obedience, avoid developing the spirit in the schools. Teach students to read and not to reason.
That's the point that I want to get to right there. Teach them how to read. A lot of people know how to call words. Reading comprehension, forget about it. They know how to call the words when they're reading, but then they say, well, you remember the Hell on Wheels thing? Yep. That was an example. When they said, he's just like parrot reciting Shakespeare. Yep. He don't know what he read. So that's a visual of what we just read here. That's what they're saying. Teach them how to read, but not be able to reason, to interpret, to infer, to conjecture. That's the point.
So even though you're reading it, you can't reason with it because the father of your soul told you what it meant.
Exactly.
Because he just said the missionary, whatever the missionary recommends, even if you read it on the page, but what does the commentary say?
Exactly.
But what does the theology school say?
Damn.
That's what they're saying.
That's the point. And that's the reason why people, when you read in the Bible to them, that's the reason why they don't get it. Because Christianity makes sure that you can read, but you can't reason what the Bible is actually saying.
Damn.
So they say, Master didn't say that.
Right.
You know,
he didn't tell me he was black.
Tell me that.
He didn't tell me Jesus was black.
And that's why you'll read Christ is black and they'll say his color does. They all have the same coding.
Brass means judgment. I heard that one.
That's showing you. So they don't know how to. That's why they can't read Genesis 34 and reason what actually happened. The word rape ain't even in the chapter at all. So why in the world are they saying rape? Or essayed? sexually assaulted. You don't read none of that in the chapter.
Right.
Now we're getting ready to go through it because I know brothers and sisters want me to get to it. We're getting ready to get to it now. But I just wanted to let y'all know that Christian mindset, it got to be destroyed because you cannot get the truth to properly conjecture in righteousness when you have wisdom where you can properly see what the chapter is actually saying.
What you're doing, Bishop, is basically what we have to do before we go into a class on Paul's writings.
Yes.
We got to go to 2 Peter chapter 3 to show you that Paul's writings are hard to understand.
Exactly.
So when what you're about to hear
Yes.
is going to be contrary to what you've been taught because it's hard to understand.
It's gonna mess them up.
So now what you're doing is you setting the precedent. This
That's
is
it.
why you've never understood it.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
That's what's about to go down now.
And it'll be crystal clear when you bring it up.
All praise.
But let me now one more scripture to show you the importance of reasoning. Give me the book of Luke chapter 24. We're going to read verse 12 to 20. I'm going to give you an example that reasoning was in the Bible. So what they going to say about those apples? Huh? They think I'm making this up?
They right.
Reasoning, Leopold said, teach them how to read but not reason. When it comes to reasoning, you're trying to ask our people on the street and telling them certain things to get them to reason what we're reading, and they just can't get it. And that's the result of Christianity. That's what Christianity has done, which is, again, like I said, it's a matriarchal psychology that goes on in these churches.
Yes, sir.
It's all about the women. The man has no power in there at all. Can't even think.
Yeah.
You got me?
Yes, sir.
Read
Luke,
24 and 12. Come on.
Luke 24 and 12. Then arose Peter and ran unto the sepulchre, and stooping down, he beheld the linen clothes laid by themselves. And
This was after Christ was crucified. That's what this is going into. Come on.
and departing, wondering in
And departed. He
and
left.
departed,
Go ahead.
wondering in himself at that which was to come to pass.
Wondering within himself of that which shall come to pass. That's a part of reasoning there.
Wondering.
Go ahead, but I ain't get to the mix. I ain't get to the mix yet. Come on.
And behold, two of them went that same day to a village called Emmaus, which was from Jerusalem about 60 furlongs.
Come on.
And they talked together of all things that which had happened.
So Christ had just got crucified, right? And he had risen because remember they went and they said that he was already gone. So the point is everybody's trying to figure, in their mind they're replaying the events. That's what we're doing. We read through Genesis 34, and we're looking at the events of what we're reading, and we're conjecturing what's happening between verse. We can see it.
Right.
Go ahead. Read that again. What verse you in?
That was verse 14.
Read that again.
And they talked together of all these things which had happened.
So they talked together about. You remember how Judas did this, and the scribes did this. So they're running it back in their mind. It's just like you just got robbed or something. And what the first thing they said, what did they see? And you're trying to run. Did I do something wrong? Did I leave the door open? You're reasoning. How did this happen?
Right.
That's what's called reasoning. Okay, read that.
And it came to pass that while they communed together and reasoned.
And what?
And reasoned.
So they commune and they reason.
Right.
Right. And they reason. Teach them to read but not reason. Well, these brothers was reasoning.
Right.
So they was running the scenarios in their mind. So that's what Judas was about. That's why he did such and such. And this one did that and that one said that. Now they can see that's called reasoning.
That's right.
They don't teach black folks how to do this. We sit there and read looking like Gumby, reading the doggone scriptures and ain't figuring out nothing. Talk about and come up with a whole doctrine that is not what the script, that's not what the chapter is actually talking about. Okay, now let me calm down. Let me get back to it. All right, read that again. And they what?
And it came to pass that while they communed together and reasoned, Jesus himself drew near and went with them.
Jesus came up among them. Come on.
But their eyes were holding that they should not know him.
He didn't make himself known to them. So he just slipped up behind them. Christ did. Come on.
And he said unto them, what manner of communications are these?
What are y'all talking about? Come on.
That ye have one to another.
That you have one to another. Listen now.
As ye walk and are sad.
And you sad? What's going on with you brothers? Go ahead.
And the one of them, whose name was Cleopas, answering said unto him, art thou only a stranger in Jerusalem?
You mean to tell me this big event just went down? Where are you from, outer space?
Right.
You don't know what just went down? That's what they're saying.
Right.
You can't be asking us what happened.
Right.
This big event. Go ahead. Read that again.
Art thou only a stranger in Jerusalem, and hast not known the things which are come to pass during these days?
Listen.
And he said unto them, what things?
What things? Tell me. This is Christ. He said, no, maybe I don't know. You tell me what it is. Come on.
And they said unto him, concerning Jesus of Nazareth, which was a prophet, mighty in deed and word.
So they're talking about Christ now. Go ahead.
Before God and all the people. And how the chief priests and our rulers delivered him to be condemned.
So that took reasoning. Right. They reasoned to figure out what happened. So they're telling it to Christ, but they did not know it was him. So they're rehashing the whole thing. That's called reasoning. Go ahead.
And how the chief priests and our rulers delivered him to be condemned to death and have crucified him. That's verse 20, Bishop.
Okay, all right. So you got the point.
Yes.
So they reasoned, and when they reasoned, they was able to tell, even though they didn't know it was Christ at that point, but they were able to reason and tell him what had actually happened. Because when you're going through it, you didn't see it. Right. There's a lot of things, what they say, in hindsight, that's reasoning. 2020, they say hindsight is 2020. That's because you begin to reason how these things happen.
Right.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
And Bishop, like you'll read the scriptures about Judas Iscariot.
Right.
It'll say, in parentheses, for he had the bag.
Right.
That's the reasoning. Is like, that's that thief.
Right. Right. So that's what we're doing. We're looking at potential patterns of the fornications and adulteries and applying the scriptures to help in our conjecture to understand the pathway of the evil that a few of our sisters are finding themselves in today. And ultimately, while they are advocates for abortions, we want to deal with that too. Why are they advocates for abortions? Many of these same sisters will seek to do that to cover their sins. So we have enough sense to understand why they're doing. We can conjecture why they make such a big deal out of Dinah. That's the mindset. They all thinking that way. I'm talking about the ones that fit that. If the shoe fits, wear it. Now, Genesis 34. Let's read Genesis 34:1. We're reading the whole chapter.
Wow, yes, that's right. The book of Genesis, chapter 34 and verse 1.
Let me get it. Y'all all right, brothers and sisters that's watching? Yeah.
Some of them not, Bishop.
Huh?
I said some of them not.
What they do?
Brothers in there talking about why IUIC always talking down on their people.
Oh, God.
Oh, my. You mean because we're mentioning the problems that we see in our communities and we're actually reading the word of God to fix it?
If I was a doctor, and they came to me with a brain tumor, and I'm telling them how good their teeth look, telling them how good their eyes look, how beautiful their skin look, that's not going to save them.
Right.
We need to deal with the cancer that's killing you.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's what we're doing. So
100%.
Later with that. Brother, I just hope you get your spirit right. Let's keep moving.
Yes, sir. Genesis chapter 34 and 1. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when
We're bringing it down. The question is, let's ask why. Why did she do that? It says, and Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob. There's a lot in that.
Yep.
The children of Jacob, did they know better? That's why I said it in the opening. She knew better. She went and wandered, and she knew. She had 12 brothers.
12.
She had a father and a mother. They all knew the laws.
Yep. Right.
So you mean to tell me they did not teach her? They taught her.
Yes.
She wandered and got dead, basically. Okay? Read that again.
And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob,
which means she knew better. Go ahead.
Went out to see the daughters of the land.
What in the hell is she going to do that for? Why would she do that? Right. That was nobody in her family told her to do anything like that at all.
Exactly.
So she went out there against the dictates and the order of her family. Okay? So why did she go? Let's ask that question. Why did she go? Let's conjecture and figure out why did she go up there. Let's talk about it. Come on.
She had intentions.
She had intentions. Come on. What else? She's living in a. Let's run it. Let's run it. She's in a family with 12 brothers, patriarchal. She got a father that's a patriot. The mother is mainly going to support that. Maybe she wanted to make a name for herself.
Absolutely.
She went to go and look and see what the other women are doing. She said, I want to be like that.
Right.
Could we conjecture? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. It does.
No?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, she's looking. She said, how come they ain't moving like we? Like some of these daughters are rebellious as hell. Right. Why we can't be like that?
Right.
Yep.
She could have felt like she was in prison.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's what we're dealing with.
12 brothers.
Exactly.
They weren't playing either.
That's the
Envy
point.
could have played a part too.
Yes.
Envy,
All
seeing,
of that.
seeing all the, just like Eve in the garden. You know, she envied the godship or the lordship that the Most High gave her husband, and she wanted to be equal on some type of playing field. So she was enticed, so to speak. So,
I'm gonna jump out of sequence for a second. Go to commentary. I'm gonna see what the commentaries say. Now I know I got the picture of the Bible. We coming back to that. I'm looking on the Telegram. Y'all got me? The top of the thing says commentary. The story of Dinah. Bring that out. Liam, you ready?
Yes, sir.
We dealing with it now. We still dealing with the why part. Read that.
This is the commentary.
Let the people at home see it. There you go.
The story of Dinah is one of the most challenging narratives in the Bible, sparking extensive commentary on themes of cultural identity.
Extensive. They're right, because this is controversial. It's taboo. Nobody really wants to really deal with it. I'm talking about on a serious level. There's one chapter, nobody really deals with it like that, but we're dealing with it tonight. Right. Okay? So it says it's one of the most challenging narratives in the Bible, sparking extensive commentary on themes, in other words, reasoning. Extensive commentary on themes of cultural identity, family honor, because all of that was in jeopardy. The family honor was in. We're gonna read all that. Family honor, cultural identity, because she was supposed to keep the commandments of her family.
Right.
She didn't do that, and the silence of victims, because you really don't hear the full deal. So you got to use reasoning, infer with the biblical scriptures, like we did when we went to and we actually read what rape is in the Bible, or essayed. I'm trying to be careful not to use that word too much. But when we actually read it, you don't read that in this chapter. So now you have to deduce with all of the other things that you read. You're going to get a clear picture of what happened. Okay, we get ready to turn it up. So now give me the other one, theological and narrative significance. Come on.
The theological and narrative significance. The problem of silence. Commentators frequently note Dinah's...
Go ahead. Read that again. I'm sorry.
The problem of silence.
Go ahead.
Commentators frequently note Dinah's total lack of voice. She acts once, went out.
Go ahead.
And is thereafter a passive object of others' actions. Modern feminists readings often...
What do they mean by a passive... I want y'all to see what I'm seeing. Why do they say, what does it say, a passive, where was that at?
Passive object.
And is thereafter a passive object of others' actions.
Okay, okay, all right, read.
Modern feminist readings often seek to reclaim her perspective, while classical commentaries sometimes use her going out as a cautionary tale against world mixing.
What you got? What you see?
First thing I think of when it says, and is thereafter a passive object of others' actions. In other words, they're saying we don't know Dinah's side.
Right.
That's what feminists are saying.
Right,
we don't know what Dinah's side is. We don't know if she was raped. She could say she was. Right.
So they're going to say that she was raped,
even
though we read the definition of rape in the Bible.
Yes, sir.
Feminist.
That's it.
Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. Now, let's go back to the Bible. Read the second verse now.
Genesis 34, verse 2. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country.
What was he?
Prince of the country.
Princes ain't got to rape nobody. Prince ain't got to rape. I want so-and-so.
Right.
And she'd be glad to give it. Go ahead. Read it again. I just threw that out there. I'm not saying that's what it was, but I just threw that out there. Okay? Read that again.
And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her.
Hold it. All that. He took her. What does it mean that he took her? People take that word took for rape.
Right.
Took there means enticed her. Right. That's what we getting ready to show y'all all that.
Or Bishop, like I mentioned earlier, he took her from her father. He took her
that's
from
that's what it's talking about.
Where did the daughters of the land that she went to go see? They took her to a place that a prince would be. They didn't take her to the ghetto. They didn't take her to the food court. They took her where he could see her. Think about that for a second. That's the only way a prince gonna see her.
Right, exactly. But in addition to that took is not necessarily talking about a physical taking.
Yes, absolutely.
Because took, and then it says, and lay with her. The lay with her is separate from the took. So the lay with her was the act. So what was the took part? The enticing.
That's it. That's it.
The defiling.
The defiling.
Of her mind.
The spitting the game at her. That's what it was. She saw all of the significance of his splendor.
Yes.
And she said, hey, I am with this patriarchal family, and I'm, they got all the names and this and that and the other. Look at old me. I can have some of this glory over here.
Yes,
her mind went just like sisters do today. They literally wander off into areas and then they get defiled.
Yep.
Somebody spit game to them. Next thing you know, their legs is wide open and the niggas is all up in there.
Because he wasn't no bum.
Not at all.
Because Jacob, Jacob had some wealth.
Yes, bring it out.
No, Jacob had some wealth,
Exactly.
so she couldn't just deal with no bum.
No.
So she had to go get a prince.
Make a name for herself.
Okay, I know people get mad. This is the good stuff. I like this. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
You can feel the anger.
I love it. I love it. Because that's what you got to do, the Christian mindset. You got to do that thing.
Damn, Bishop.
You got to do that thing. What you got?
That ain't no different than the sisters today on social media
Exactly.
looking to get a
Exactly.
basketball player, celebrity
Exactly.
football player. It's the same thing that they do today.
When these sisters grow on these groups, their minds become defiled, and the next thing you know, they go meet somebody somewhere, and then the dude talk her drawers off, and he's in her.
Yep.
This is what happened to her.
Remember in Isaiah 3, it says she goes mincing or making tinkling with her feet, mincing as she go. She went so that she could allure a man. That's what because if that was not the case, then when the prince saw her, and even if he did say something to her, she would have rejected it.
Right.
But she went there with the intent of being seen. That's what I mean to say.
When you read it, it almost seemed like she was dealing with those sisters, and telling those sisters what she wanted.
You know what? I'm giving to jump the gun. I don't want to jump the gun because what you just said made me got to jump the gun. Nah, I don't want to do that. I got to wait for it because I got to keep it. I got to keep it.
Yes, sir.
It's coming though. It's coming.
just
But
shows-
it's going to clear all this up.
It just shows that there's a dispensation of time in that
absolutely,
in that verse.
Absolutely.
That you have to conjecture to say she didn't just go out there once.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
You
And
know-
I'm trying to put it in my mind. If she went the first time and still had to come back home at night, how does she hide what she was doing? Because these women do that to this day.
Absolutely.
You have some of these sisters will be up under their father's house, will sneak out and be dealing with a dude for weeks. And the next thing you know, she's pregnant or you find out something on social media, or whatever. And you're like, what? How the hell did this happen? Right. So she got to come back in and put her skirt back on, put her friend.
Yes,
all that deception going on. This is what experience taught us.
Yes.
That could be the case here.
Because Bishop, it tells you a little bit later down in the verse that the brothers were out in the field.
Right.
So their presence wasn't there where she got to sneak out and do certain things.
And that goes back to what Bishop read earlier in Sirach 42. Keep a sure eye
That's
or
it.
sure watch over a shameless
That's what
daughter.
she was.
That's what happened.
That's what she was. Shameless. What in the hell? Why would she even be over there if she
sir.
wasn't shameless?
Yes, sir.
Why would she even be over there?
Yep.
Looking at the other women, looking what they're doing, and why she can't have a part of that.
And Bishop, you could see she could sneak around because Jacob had so much cattle, so much manservants. Read Genesis 30. He had so much going on.
There you go.
That can go with that Proverbs 7 where it says the good man is not at home.
Exactly.
That's that spirit.
Exactly. Now, let's read verse 2 again.
Genesis 34 verse 2. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her.
Took her and defiled her. Took her and defiled her. What does that word defiled in that verse mean? That's the question. Put my Bible, I took a picture of the page. Put it up there. Now read verse 2, Liam.
Yes, sir.
I want everybody to see what they're looking at.
And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, and he took her and lay with her and defiled her.
So what does, you say I got it highlighted?
Yes, sir.
Look over in the margin.
Yes, sir.
Look at, wait. Defile got a number on it, does it not?
Yep,
Yes,
number
sir.
8.
Okay, let's see if we can conjecture by looking at this and see if this happened the way we're going to bring it out. What it say?
Humbled her.
Humbled her. And the third verse expounds on what happened in the second verse.
That's it.
That's the point.
That's right.
The third verse expounds on, just like Genesis, the second chapter, expounds on what happened in the first chapter. That's the point. Okay? Now, let's read it. We get ready to just move on through this thing. You ready, Cap?
Yes, sir.
We hot now, right?
Yes, sir.
We got the oil ready? we ready to roll?
Bishop, you don't humble a rape victim.
These are the when you're reasoning, you would automatically see that.
Yes, sir.
You would automatically see that, but Christianity blocks reasoning. You just look at words with no reasoning, and you don't understand what the hell you're reading. Put that Bible verse back up there again. Okay, and when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her, he rapped to her. That's basically what he did. And he lay with her and defiled her. Okay, so what does defile means? It is right there. Now, humbled her. Now, get me my other picture. Hold it. Let me look. Give me I got the word entice, because that's what it means. No, don't put that up there yet. Right there. Let's find out what happened to Dinah. Come on, ladies.
Yes, sir.
Show it on the board. This is out of an old dictionary. They broke it all the way down. Okay, so I had to save this one.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Entice, definition number 1. To incite or instigate. Number 2.
Shrink it so they can get all the words
Yes,
on
sir.
there. I'm talking about to the brother in the back so you can see everything. Yes.
Yes, I got it. Yes, sir.
Come on.
To draw on by exciting hope or desire.
He excited hope because what she was looking for. Why would she leave her house? Why would she leave her 12 brothers? Why would she leave her family to go wandering over here if she wasn't looking for something? Right. He saw that. Brothers see sisters in the street, and they can say, "I could tell she wanted it."
Yep.
Because they see it in their spirit. You understand? And they know what to say. They know because they already see it in her spirit.
The sister keep looking at you.
She keep looking,
laughing at everything you say.
That's what happened there. That's what happened there.
Yes, sir.
Come on. Read on.
To allure.
To allure. To draw them to you. That's enticing. Okay?
Attract.
To attract. Go ahead.
As the bait enticed the fishes.
Hamor enticed her as the bait. Notice it said as the bait because it's deception.
Right.
Entice the fish. Once the fish bite it because he think he's going to get a treat, he ends up hooked and in the frying pan.
Got him.
So that's what entice means, to deceive. Entice means to allure, to draw out, to bring them into danger. And that's what her brothers recognized. That's what fathers would do. They would recognize this is horrible. But she was enticed, humbled. Read.
Often in a bad sense to lead
Hold it. What it say? So what does entice means? Often in a bad sense. Because she is being allured away from my protection. I had instructions. I had plans for what my daughter was supposed to do. And you enticed her and allured her away from my protection. And you're going to do to her ill will. And that's not what I want. So that's in a bad sense. Go ahead.
Often in a bad sense to lead astray.
To lead astray. Dinah was led astray. Come on.
To induce to evil.
To induce to evil. That was evil for her to even be there. She should have been there in the first place. Go ahead.
To tempt.
To tempt. That's what happened with her. Tempted. Go ahead. Is there more on that?
My son, if sinners entice thee.
So it's letting you know what enticing actually means. It's a bad thing. You got brothers trying to use the scripture, Exodus 22:16, talking about if a man entice a woman, you automatically make her your wife. The father said, hell no. If the father utterly refused, he said, because you enticed her, you didn't come to me.
Right.
You spit game on her, made her forget, allured her away, often in a bad sense, away from my protection. You took her, and now you defiled it and changed her whole mindset. Well, I don't even recognize her no more. Now she got a baby living in my damn house with your spirit on her. That's the point.
Read the synonyms.
Oh, synonyms to lure, coax, decoy, seduce, inveigle, incite, persuade, prevail on.
Seduce and persuade. That's what he did.
Bishop, the antonym is to repel
That's
or
it.
to feel disgust.
That's what she was supposed to have done.
Right.
Yes.
When you actually check out what a victim of rape, they would literally repel.
Right.
They would fight like hell to get out of that. You don't hear none of that in this chapter.
Yep.
It gets worse because you're going to see there's communication going on between Shechem's father and Jacob.
Yep.
So, Bishop, Dinah was
When
supposed to say,
does the father of a rapist come to the victim's father and commune with them? I ain't communing nothing.
Hell
Where's
no.
the damn shotgun?
Right.
You come and commune with me and you rape my daughter. That's not what happened. Come on.
Bishop, we talked about it the other night. 2 chapters before that, Jacob wrestled an angel.
Come on.
damn,
What are we talking about?
Exactly.
Now you rape my daughter and you gonna come commune with me? No, off with your head.
Right.
There you go.
And I got 12 sons that's ready to get it in. What are you talking about?
That's it. That's it. We're going to deal with all of that. That's it. That's it right there. That tells you that the people in church, they're reading, but they ain't reasoning. They ain't reason none of this. It's gonna get ready. It's getting ready to get a whole lot worse. If you
All
think
night.
it's bad night, you think it's bad now. It's getting ready to get a whole lot worse as we read down.
Kev dropped the bomb. He wrestled with him all
He
night.
all
Right.
night.
He done-
Because
the
I
ain't-
ain't going nowhere
ain't
till
the-
I get this blessing.
Oh, you want to learn how I got my name? Let me show you. You rape my daughter, let me show you.
Right.
Come on, man. Stop it.
So no, that's not what that was.
and Bishop, so Dinah was supposed to say, if you want to talk to me, you got to talk to my father.
Exactly.
She didn't do
Exactly. Exactly. Where's that clip at? No, I ain't. I'm,
that. It's watching Reed's Instagram.
okay.
But,
But I know we played it before. We're going to keep it moving. But yes, you're right. Because that is the truth. Now, here's what actually happened to Dinah. Go back to Deuteronomy 22 and read 28 and 29. This is what happened to Dinah.
Deuteronomy.
It wasn't verses 25, 26, and 27. That's rape. But what happened to Dinah is in 28 and 29. And then it's going to go back to what we read. Have my Bible scripture back up there again. Out the Bible.
Deuteronomy 22, verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her.
What verse are you in?
Verse 28.
Yes, sir. Read that again.
Deuteronomy 22, verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her.
This would be Dinah. She was a virgin. She was not betrothed to another man. She belonged under her father. Okay? Go ahead.
And lay hold on her.
And lay hold on her. He talked her drawers off. That's what it's. You're going to find out that what this hold is not rape. It's going to be crystal clear. You got some bum brothers trying to teach the Bible, talking about this means he raped her. You nasty Negroes. That's not what this is talking about. Read that again. This is going to prove it.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her,
Go ahead.
and lie with her,
And lie with her. Go ahead.
and they be found.
You don't hold it. And they be found. That means they was in that haystack rolling for a while until somebody walked up on them and caught them.
In the
That ain't
very
no
act.
rape scene. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody might say, well, it could be, but we're going to find out that it ain't by reading on, by reasoning as we read. Read it again.
and lay hold on her, and lie with her.
Come on.
And they be found.
And they be found. They stayed there talking about how good it was.
Damn.
Laying back on each other. Go ahead.
Pillow talk.
Pillow talk.
Pillow talk.
That's what that's talking about.
Damn.
Go ahead.
Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver.
This is where Exodus 22:16 comes in at. But the father said, hell no, I'm not giving you to her. So that's why the 17th verse says he refused it. Read that again. I just threw that in there in case somebody's asking. Read that again.
Verse 29. Then
Nope.
20.
What was the verse you just? Yes.
29,
Yes, that's
sir.
29. Come on.
Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver.
Come on.
And she shall be his wife.
Go ahead.
Because he hath humbled her.
Because he had what?
Humbled her.
This is what Shechem was thinking. Because they talked about it. Dinah probably told him that if we do this, we're going to have to go through these steps.
Right.
This is reasoning.
Right.
He ain't just knocked the boots. I know this. Dinah's our sister. These Hamites ain't our people.
Right.
But we got to look at what we're reading. You know, there was some talk. Obviously, there ain't no rape going on because she didn't cry out.
Yes, sir.
Like we read in the other verses. She didn't do none of that at all. Read that. Read where we at. Read.
Because he has humbled her.
He has humbled her. Go ahead.
He may not put her away all his days.
Go ahead.
That was it.
Oh, that was it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
So-
Bishop.
Yes, sir.
And another thing is, when her brothers came, they said, "Hey, you got to get circumcised." So that shows you.
That shows you that right there because they wouldn't. Even though they went and did what they did to them with that, but we're gonna deal with that too. We're gonna deal with that too because I know people would say, "Well, why did they do such a violent act?" The point that people got to ask is, why was there a discussion, a disagreement between the brothers that did this,
Right.
and Jacob, her father?
Exactly.
Why was he worrying about his own safety? If my daughter got raped, I wouldn't give a damn about nothing else.
Care about nothing. You see red. That's
You
it.
can see nothing but red. So that's letting you know that Jacob knew what happened.
Exactly.
And for this man to come and talk about something, we going to commune together? Nah, people, you got it wrong. You did not understand the scripture. You did not reason in the Bible.
Jacob knew that his daughter was out there
He
sneaking
knew
around.
exactly. He said, I'm not going to risk my whole family. And you brothers went and made us stink before all of them. Now they all might tear us up. Because she went out on her own and did this. If she was truly a victim, we wouldn't have gave a damn at all. That's reasoning.
Yep.
That's reasoning. So I done jumped it. I done jumped up and jumped it to the part. But it gets worse.
That's it.
It gets worse. Read that 29 again and then go back to Genesis where you got my page on the board. That's the reason why it used the word defile as humble, because this is what happened to her. Read that again. Genesis 34, verse 2. Read that again.
Genesis 34, verse 2. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her.
And he defiled her. What does it say in that column? You showing it on the board?
Number 8.
Number 8, what does it say?
Humbled her.
He humbled her.
Yep.
That's the reason why the third verse say what it says. Read the third verse now.
And his soul clave unto Dinah.
Because she was welcoming that humbleness. They was making love. Let me say it that way. I know that sounds bad. They don't want to accept that thing, but that's what she went and did.
Got to accept it. Got to.
Got to accept it because that's what happened. Read this whole third verse. We're gonna get all in it now. I know I'm getting excited. We're going all the way down. Read it.
And his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob.
You clave to the daughter of, to rape her, you would have to punch her in the face, bruise her up. To rape somebody, that's violence.
Torture.
There be. So how the hell you gonna speak nice to her after you done bust her in the face? You done punched her in the ribs. Open your legs, bam, or whatever. You understand? That ain't no daggone speak nicely. Then you gonna say, let me go to her father and ask her what the you done did to my daughter. I didn't say it.
No, I'm saying. No, I'm thinking.
That's
myself,
how you gonna think.
How dare you?
Now you come to me and you asking for her hand after. Look at my daughter. Look at what you did to her. That kind of thing. That's how you gonna be. But they didn't talk like that.
Nope.
Yo, it's getting ready to get bad. You ready?
I'm ready,
You ready?
Bishop. I'm ready, Bishop.
I know. We dragging it out. We dragging it out. Come on.
All praise.
Read.
And his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob.
Come on.
And he loved the damsel, and spake kindly unto the damsel.
Wait a minute. And he spake kindly after raping her? These people can't read.
No.
Can't reason either.
There's a number by that kindly. What does it say by that number?
Number 9. To the heart of the damsel.
So he spoke to the heart of the damsel. He got into the mind.
He got into the mind.
Running game.
He ran that game.
You know I love
Coogie down to the socks.
What it say?
That's what he did. Black, ugly as ever.
Right.
Coogie down to the socks. That's what he did.
Biggie Smalls.
He did the Biggie Smalls on her.
Right.
I know them to say, well, how can you speak about this is your people, y'all stop? You're making fun of it. I ain't making fun of it.
No.
I'm just showing you when our women are rebellious, this is the kind of stuff that happens, and they get defiled.
Yes, sir, Bishop.
That's what I'm talking about. You can't make a rape case out of this. The lesson is for you women to stay underneath your fathers.
Right.
That's what the point of why this chapter is even in the Bible. Is for you to stay within the protection of your family, to not wander out. That's the point.
Yep.
Where you at? What you was bringing out, Eli?
We just
give it a read on down now.
Yeah, we touched the bishop.
Okay,
Verse
hold it.
4.
Go to Exodus 20. I got these things written. Because I didn't want to skip nothing. Exodus 20.
And what you want, Bishop?
17.
Yes, sir. Yep. Exodus 20, verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
Nor anything, including his daughter, that is the neighbor's. You're not supposed to covet that. Dinah knew this. All the people in her family, they knew these laws. They knew this. Give me 22. Exodus 22, verse 16.
Exodus 22 and verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
That goes back to what we read earlier. This is what the plan was. This is what Shechem's plan was. Go ahead. We've seen this in the body. Go ahead. Read verse 17 now.
If her father utterly refused.
This, everybody refused it.
If her father utterly refused to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
And this is what the two brothers did to all of them Hamites.
Yep.
The dowry. They said the dowry got to be paid because you defiled our sister. But watch when we get to that verse. Y'all going to be shocked when you're going to find out that everything that we've been saying is going to be backed up with just a few words. Okay? Go back to Genesis 34, verse 3.
Genesis 34, verse 3. And his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel, and spake kindly unto the damsel.
He spoke to her heart. Go ahead.
And Shechem spake unto his father.
So wait a minute. So that's the fourth verse. So the point that I want to make after reading is it said, and his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel. That don't sound like a rape victim. He loved the damsel, and he spake kindly unto her. I want this woman. In his mind, that was some good stuff. I'm getting vulgar by saying that.
It's the truth.
But that's the conjecture. We can think like that. You understand? He thought like that. I want this one. I want her for me.
Bishop, it said,
Yes.
it said he loved the damsel and spake kindly to her.
Yes.
That's a dispensation of time.
Absolutely. That did not happen in a one. That go back to your point. That took time.
Yeah.
Reasoning.
They in a relationship.
They're in a relationship.
And it also points to the fact that for him to say, I want this one, he's
Yes.
a prince, he's a king's son. He's had more women
He
than
had
this
plenty.
one.
Exactly.
He was not a virgin. That's
No.
not where he looked at her, saw her, and lay with her and said, this is the one I want. He said that because he's had past experiences with other women, but he never had an Israelite woman, a Hebrew woman.
She was lively.
Exactly. She was live. She was different. He
Exactly.
said, I want this one right here.
That's what happened. That's what happened.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm willing to go to your father
Yep.
and pay
Exactly.
him.
And so I need this just like what
Yeah.
somebody would do. I need to talk to her father.
You could be my
He-
princess one day.
Right.
She told him what he had to do.
Exactly.
She
That's
laid
what
it
was.
out. She told him what he had to
that's
do.
the point I was bringing up. She had to school him on
Yep.
how could I get my father to agree with the two of us.
You're
being
going to have to
together.
tell your father to go speak to my
Tell
father.
your
Exactly.
father because your father's a king and so is mine.
That's what
Have them
happened.
come together.
That's what happened. So the word rape never got to Jacob's ears.
Nope.
The word rape didn't come on our side at all because they clearly understood what happened.
No
Okay?
force. No force.
There ain't no
none.
force in that. Okay? Shechem spoke that way to Dinah because he wished to entice her. That's how he, and ultimately the whole city defiled Dinah. Let's explain that part. They defiled Dinah. Jump to verse 27.
Genesis chapter.
Oh, I saw my brother look at me. He said, "Oh, what the hell is this?" Yeah, the bombs is about to fly.
Hold up now.
The bombs is about to fly. Read verse 27.
Genesis 34, verse 27. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain.
So this is after the thing went down. This is after they done got the foreskins, they're ready to be circumcised, and they saw it. So then Simeon and Levi went and tore their behinds up. Go ahead. They're explaining this now. Come on. And what?
The sons of Jacob came upon the slain and spoiled the city.
Why?
Because they had defiled.
Because what?
They had defiled their sister.
They? Who the hell is the they?
Come on.
Who is the they? It was Shechem that was speaking to her. Who's the they? That goes back to your point. She must have been over there a few times because many of them say, "Oh, he's the prince. He's so-and-so."
Yep.
You see how these girls that get lured away from their fathers. I'm talking real stuff now. We getting ready to reason again. Some of these daughters have ran away from their homes.
Yes.
Got online, got on Facebook and different stuff like that, and found a whole new community.
Yep.
Found and been brought into a whole new community that the parents know nothing about. And then they got some guys, and I'm talking about girls now. The daughters might be talking to some of these girls on these Facebooks, Instagrams, and stuff like that, and or in school with them, and they all got groups together. Follow what I'm saying?
Yep.
And they're talking to them, and when these girls talk, what do they talk about? Men.
That's it.
Having sex. All that. That's what they talk about. That's sneaking around. That's what they're talking about. And then they start talking about certain people in the class. Or they start talking about certain people that they know. Oh, you look at him. You know, he's such and such. I think he'd be a good thing for you, sister, or such and such. And be talking to your daughter like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And the next thing you know, they meet. And in her mind, she don't really know him. But she knows all of the recommendations of all those people that told her you should let him stick you or whatever. I'm just because that's how stupid they talk. Let him get you.
Yeah.
And they're having that conversation. Read that thing again.
The sons of Jacob came upon the slain and spoiled the city.
So when it said that she went out to see the women of the land, they told her this.
Exactly.
Damn.
They told her this. Read that again. And what?
And spoiled the city because they had defiled their sister.
Because they had defiled their sister.
And the scriptures back that up, Bishop.
Oh, yes.
The scriptures back that up in Proverbs 1 and 10,
Yeah.
which was in the dictionary that you just showed. I don't know if we could read that just real fast.
Bring it out. We bring it all that in.
Proverbs 1 and 10 real quick. This is an example of what Dinah went through. Come on.
Yes, sir. Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 10. My son, if sinners entice thee,
That's what happened right there.
That's what
Sinners
happened.
enticed
Sinners
her.
enticed her.
Go ahead.
consent thou not.
That's
She
what
didn't do
shoulda
that.
did. She should have did that, but she did not do that. She agreed with it
Yes, sir.
and allowed this dude to lay with her. And he showed her all kind of this, took her to this, took her to that, showed her this. You can see it in your mind. You can tell what happened. We've experienced this with your daughters in the body. We've heard of these kinds of things. That's the experience that teaches you what actually happened here.
Made her some dilly burgers, something.
All that.
She's seen the finer things. Her father is Jacob. They're rich. Wealth. All the riches come from Abraham and Isaac, his fathers. So she's seen the finer things. It was in her to want to be enticed. That's what it had to be.
Bishop,
Yes, sir.
do we got time for one video real quick? It's okay. We don't.
What is it?
It's going into what you just mentioned about them sisters going on.
Yeah, bring it out.
Go ahead, going on the internet, finding a whole
Yes,
other
bring that
community
out.
to the point where you don't even recognize who you raised anymore.
Damn.
Right.
Go ahead and play this real quick.
There
Y'all.
you go.
All right, teens.
Come on, y'all.
You never know who you raising until you check their phone.
Turn it up.
Parents of teens, preteens, any one of them who have a phone, check them phone. I just went through my son's phone and I was like, damn, who is this? I would never even thought that was my son if it wasn't his phone. I never thought that I raised my son. Well, I didn't raise him to be that way, but I never would have thought that my son was out here doing and saying some of the stuff that he's doing and saying. check those phones. No matter what, I tried to give him privacy. I tried to give him trust.
Or you can stop right there.
Yeah.
That's the point. You're not to give them any
It says
privacy.
sometimes our teens are living double lives. That's what was happening. That's what was happening. Why was she over there? Why was she over there?
Exactly.
Right, because the shameless daughter, Bishop, in Sirach 26, it says, lest she abuse herself
Through over much
liberty.
liberty. That's the point right there.
Damn.
That is it. Lest she abuse herself through over much liberty. She slipped out and did that thing.
And Bishop, we got to infer that, you know, when I got sisters,
Yes.
and they would leave the house with one outfit and then change clothes and put on something else once they
get to the skating rink and change our whole clothes.
So you can infer she probably left as if she was going.
Yep, exactly. No, I
Even
know.
the girls in school.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah, they
put
would-
on something totally different.
Yep.
Right.
Go change in the bathroom.
Yep.
We
and
had-
go ahead.
I
bring
said
it
we
out.
had young girls in the body do that.
That's
Damn.
what I'm talking about.
Damn.
That's what I'm talking about. This is how we can properly conjecture what happened because it happens. Experience and reasoning. This is how all the stuff gets done. But in case they still don't want to roll with us, it's gonna get worse.
Come on.
It's gonna get worse. This one chapter. Where we at?
You want verse 27 again, Bishop? Genesis 34?
Yeah, and then give me verse 4. We're gonna jump back up to verse 4. Read.
Genesis 34:27. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain and spoiled the city
The city. That's more than Shechem. Go ahead.
because they
Right.
had defiled their sister.
Because they all played a part in it. When your daughters is on Facebook, when your daughters is on Instagram, when they're on this one, that one, all of those are playing in her mind and they file in her mind. When you talk to, we've had some we try to talk in, and it's like we can't even recognize them anymore because their mind is out there, gone. I remember I had to speak to a brother in Raleigh. This was when I first came down here, and his mind was already gone. And he answered and he said, well, let me go and deal with it. And then when I deal with it, I'm going to come back. And you remember that? Because I talked about that before.
And you said, but your calibration is going to be
exactly.
off.
Your whole mind, your mind will be defiled where you will think that's right and we're wrong. How in the world you going to come back to something that you now deem is wrong?
Right.
That's what defiled means. Once the spiritual makeup is changed, it's defiled. Defiled means removed from the way it was meant to be. The fathers and the mothers meant for her to be a particular way. She's defiled from that, and they are no longer what you made them to be. It's defiled. The mind is defiled. Okay? So they did it.
Damn.
It was a team effort. A whole city worked to that. Because later on, they was talking about saying, well, let's get all of the men and the daughters and deal together. They all knew.
Yep.
That's telling you again, there was conversations about this. How in the hell is the whole city was planning on marrying our sons and daughters? Remember that part?
Yeah.
The whole city was going to do it because they all knew about that part.
They all played a part.
They all played a part in it. They said, well, it happened to you. Maybe we can all get it.
The brothers set them up so good.
Yes, that's the point. Yes.
They told them, y'all, whoever wants to marry our daughters, just get circumcised.
Right.
So everybody that played a part in
Exactly.
luring her out, who she was hanging out with, who she was
Exactly.
dealing
That's
with.
the point. And that's why the Bible says they.
Yep.
Because they was all a part of it.
Remember in Judith, it said, these the type of women they got amongst them? No man amongst them need to be alive.
Right.
Remember that?
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when
yeah.
he saw Dinah, he
Yes.
saw different.
Right.
He's like, oh,
It's-
that was right there.
and we want all of
We
them.
want all. If they producing women like that, we want
That's
all
the
they
point.
women.
Right.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Damn.
That's what's up. Read verse 4 to 7. Let's get it in.
Genesis 34, verse 4. And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, get me this damsel to wife. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter. Now his sons were with the cattle. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field.
Whoa. And what was that part? And
Verse
Jacob?
5.
Yes.
And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter.
Go ahead.
Now his sons were with
So
his...
defiled here again means he humbled. My daughter is not who I expected her to be. Yes, of course, he laid with her also. So the late did come. But the defiling is the deal.
That's right.
Because, in other words, rape ain't here. Rape is not here. That's the point. Read.
And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field. And Jacob held his peace until they were come.
You ain't holding your peace if your daughter got raped.
Exactly.
You ain't holding your peace at all. What was the name of that movie? What's the name? Samuel Jackson.
Time to Kill.
A Time to Kill.
Yeah.
I ain't even see the movie yet, and I heard about it.
Yeah.
And that dude wasn't. I gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it, Bishop.
I gotta watch.
Gotta
that.
watch it. That's a classic.
Because I believe that that's the way a man would act if his daughter was in fact raped, if he loved her.
That's a classic.
I got to watch that thing. Okay.
Dang, I ain't gonna spoil it for you.
No. I'm gonna turn that on, but Lord willing, read on.
And Hamor, the father of Shechem.
You in verse 6 now?
Yes, sir. Verse
Read.
6. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him.
How in the hell you gonna commune with me?
Exactly.
How in the world is the father of a rapist that raped my daughter is going to come and commune, sit down, and break bread together? That's what commune means. Commune. What did it say? Give me with Abraham and when he was when they were walking with Abimelech. Was it? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It used the same word in there, don't it?
20.
29, no, 26. I think it's Isaac.
Nah, Abimelech. It's like
Yeah, I'm forgetting.
15.
Yeah.
Well, when they were sporting.
When they were
together?
sporting, that
yeah,
one.
that's Genesis 26 and 8.
Yeah. Read that.
8 and 9.
Genesis 26
Is the word commune in there?
No, it's they
No, they
sported.
knew they sported
They
together.
sported together.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
You talking about David?
Yeah, yeah.
Abigail.
Right, Abigail. That's it. Thank you. I knew.
No, Second
Second
Samuel.
Samuel.
Second
Yeah.
Samuel.
First
I knew the
Samuel
word
25.
commune means courtship. That's the point. That's what I was trying to
Yes, sir.
bring up.
It's 1 Samuel 25, brothers.
Yes. Let's quick. Let's quick.
You rape my daughter, we're going to have a conversation.
We're gonna have a conversation.
Let's
That
sit down.
Verse
did not
39.
happen.
Over
Verse
coffee.
39.
A righteous man like Jacob that dealt with an angel 2 chapters earlier.
Right. Come on now.
First
Genesis 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 39. And when David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, Blessed be the Lord, that have pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and have kept his servant from evil. For the Lord hath returned the wickedness of Nabal upon his own head.
Come on.
And David sent and communed with Abigail.
And he did what?
Communed with Abigail.
So that was he communed. He's rapping to her. And bring it. Listen, I need to bring you with me.
Right.
Giving her all that speech that she wanted to hear.
He already said, "Blessed be the Lord God."
That's it. So he laid it on her.
He said, Shalom.
Yes, he hit her with all that. Akwaf. All
Akwaf.
that. He hit her, he tore her ass up with that.
And what it said, it says, "And take her
to
to him to wife."
So there's the word took again. Okay? So that means he brought her in with his words. And then he eventually laid with her. So there you go. Okay? So there's time involved in that as well. So let's go back to where I was at.
Genesis 34 and verse 6. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out.
I'm sorry, Bishop. Could you read verse 5 real quick, sir? Just the top part
Yes,
of
sir.
verse 5.
Come on.
Genesis 34 and verse 5.
Yeah.
And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter.
So he hadn't met with the king yet.
No.
Meaning somebody came back and told Jacob what happened with Dinah.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Right? Go ahead.
Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace.
So Jacob sent for his sons, because it's going to tell you in the next verse. Go ahead.
Until they would come, and Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob.
That's why it says Jacob held his peace until they would come, meaning he sent somebody to get them.
So Jacob knew exactly what happened.
Yep.
He knew that there wasn't a rape.
Right.
Read that again. You on it.
And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter.
So he was told how it went down. Right. The whole the coochie down to the socks, all that. He heard all of that. Jacob is definitely pissed about it because he had plans for her.
They said, "You know, your daughter went out over there."
That's
to Shechem
that's
and
the point that he got. That's the news that he got. Because now you're gonna come and we're gonna sit down and break bread. Definitely was no rape, no violent, nothing. It was none of that at all. They defiled her.
Yeah.
Come on, read.
Verse 7. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard
Read
it.
6 again.
Verse 6.
I want that word commune to stick.
And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him.
So commune with Jacob. There's no communing like Abigail and David. There wasn't no communing when you raped my daughter. That did not happen. Go ahead.
And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it.
So they heard about it. Come on.
And the men were grieved.
They were grieved. Why were they grieved? Because Dinah was defiled. She's now she got another spirit on her. And plus he laid with her at this point. But they like, this man took our daughter away from us. That's the anger. But my point is, there's not a rape in this. This is not a rape case. This is a case of her being defiled. That's the point. Read.
And they were very wroth, because he had wrought folly in Israel, and lying with Jacob's daughter.
And lying with what? Where you read it here where it says, and he forced her, and that's not in here.
Right.
Like Moses didn't call rape folly like it's a game.
Exactly. No. It brought folly. Exactly. And brought folly in Israel. They ain't no damn folly. That's a crime.
Exactly. Death.
You brought it out earlier, Bishop. If he had raped her, the scripture says that there was no sin that she committed.
Right.
So
there you go.
It would have been death.
It would have been death. Mm-hmm. It would have been death. It would have been death. Go ahead, read.
And the men were grieved, and they were very wroth, because he had wrought folly in Israel, in lying with Jacob's daughter, which thing ought not to be done.
Which she was not supposed to be defiled.
Exactly.
That was the point. That's how all of our fathers would feel. Our daughters are not supposed to be defiled with some man's spirit on her when I had plans for her. That's the point. You get this? I know you sit over there learning. You've been learning and reading. And reasoning.
Learned you.
You know? Wow. Woo, 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 woo. So give me the 8th verse now. We're going through the chapter.
Yes, sir.
Because this clearly is not a rape case.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that. It's not a sexual assault case. It's a case where she was defiled and enticed. That's what this was. Go ahead.
And Hamor communed with them, saying.
So wait a minute. So he's in the presence. He's actually in the presence of Jacob and the family. And he's communing with them. Where the swords at?
Right.
You understand? There ain't no swords. None of this come up. They're communing, sitting down, probably breaking bread. That's what commune mean. Mm-hmm. Damn. Read.
And you know they're capable of death.
They're capable of
all that. Because when you keep reading the chapter,
yes.
You know what happened.
Right. Mm-hmm. Come on.
And Hamor communed with them, saying, the soul of my son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you give her him to wife, and make ye marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you.
So, you hear this?
That's a proposition.
So they went beyond Dinah.
Right.
They said, we want all of them.
Yeah.
Because what he did, we want to do that to all of the women. Mm-hmm. Where you at, Eli? Help me out.
It's a presentation. He gave a presentation.
Yeah.
He said, I pray you give her him to wife. Who talks to another man like that after your son supposedly just raped his daughter?
Right.
That does not happen.
That does not happen. We
war.
got enough sense to know that the reasoning won't lead us to conjecture that type of outcome.
Exactly.
And if you can't see that, that just means you don't want to see
you
it.
Rebellious as hell. You wicked as hell. And we're going to get into the reason why they think it that way, too. Okay? Where am I at?
That was verse 9.
Okay, read.
Verse 10. And ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade ye therein, and get you possessions therein.
Negotiations.
Yeah. He hitting them with it. He hitting them with it.
Damn. Go ahead.
And Shechem said unto her father and unto her brethren, let me find grace in your eyes. And what you shall...
You're going to ask for grace after this happened. Let me find grace in your eyes. Go ahead.
And what you shall say unto me, I will give. Ask me never so much dowry and gift.
Hold it. Give me Exodus 22 and 16 again.
Exodus 22 and verse 16. And if a man entice a maid...
I'm looking at verse 11. Shechem said, I'm 34 and 11, and Shechem said unto her father, who was supposed to be the father of a raped victim, and to her brothers, let me find grace in your eyes. And what ye shall say unto me, whatever you ask me to do, I will do, because I want her. That's what he's saying. Y'all see?
Right.
This is not a conversation you have about somebody who's raped. Okay? Now, Exodus 22:16 again.
Exodus 22:16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
This is what he was thinking. Okay? Simeon and Levi, now, because verse 17 comes in at verse 17. So let me tighten it up. I wrote this in here. Simeon and Levi entice Hamor and Shechem. Put my glasses on. Entice Hamor and Shechem, meaning deceive them, to believe that they were going to get Dinah and all the women of Israel. That's what the point was. Do y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
So that's why I wanted to write this to make sure I had it right. Simeon and Levi enticed Hamor and Shechem, meaning deceived them, to believe that they were going to not only get Dinah, but they were going to get all the women of Israel. And that deception is what led to them getting circumcised, which made them very sore, where they couldn't fight back. But that was the dowry for defiling and humbling Dinah.
Right.
Ooh.
What you got? You heard something there.
They had to pay with blood.
Yeah, they had to pay with blood.
That was so it wasn't because of a rape. It was because they defiled her. So they said, well, this is the payback. This is the dowry. Okay, now give me the 12th verse. Genesis 34:12.
Genesis 34, verse 12. Ask me never so much dowry and gift, and I will give according as ye shall say unto me.
Come on.
But give me the damsel to wife.
You still cannot be asking for somebody that you just raped.
And Bishop, the editors and all of that they print these Bibles. They'll put Exodus 22:16 right next to the verse.
Yes, because
they put Deuteronomy 22 and 29 right next to the verse.
Is it in there?
It's right there. Right next to the verse.
Wow. So that's telling. So
They know that they know what it means.
read. I didn't even read that. So they reasoning and they see what we're talking about. I wrote it down here because I can clearly see that that's what's connected. And you telling me that they actually have that
They
written?
got it right there.
That's
Bishop.
wild. That's wild. That's we on point.
Yep.
Not because they said it. It's because reasoning and deductive reasoning has led us there.
Right. Yep.
That's it. So that makes perfect sense. Wow.
They're letting you know that the chain of events that's happening is explaining in real time Exodus 22 and 16 and 17.
And notice Hamor went out first, but Shechem was there as well.
Right.
Because the conversation continues in verse 11, and Shechem is there. So it wasn't two different situations.
Right.
They was there. Hamor went out first, spoke to him. He signaled to Shechem, hey, come on and say your piece. And that's when he came and brought the negotiation piece. If a man that raped your daughter was standing right in front of you, he's dead.
That's
Y'all,
it.
you understand?
That's crystal clear.
Yes, sir.
A time to kill. That's what it would be. It'd be like that. Okay. Where you at? Verse what? 12?
Verse 12. Ask me never so much dowry and gift, and I will give according as ye shall say unto me, but give me the damsel to wife. And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor, his father, deceitfully, and said, because he had defiled Dinah, their sister.
Read that again.
And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor, his father, deceitfully, and said, because he had defiled Dinah, their sister.
What you got?
I gotta read Officer Eliakim's get Proverbs 6. Since he ain't on the mic, I get it for you, Officer Eliakim. Proverbs 6 and 34. This is what you've been saying, Bishop. This is what Cap been bringing out. Good. Hey, this is excellent scripture, Officer.
Proverbs 6 and what?
34 and 35.
Proverbs 6, verse 34.
This is what, if you were to do something to a man's daughter in a sense of rape, this is what this man is going through emotionally. Read.
For jealousy is the rage of a man.
Right there.
Therefore, he will not spare in the day of vengeance.
He's not having dinner.
Perfect right there. Ain't no communing, nothing. None of that.
We're not talking. We're not eating no lamb. You getting a knife. Go ahead.
He will not regard any ransom.
You cannot pay him enough dowry to change
That's
his
why
mind.
they got to die. That's the reason why rapists must die. That's the point there. That's it right there.
Neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts.
Though you're offering all of these things, if you were to rape him, there's nothing that you could offer
There's
that
nothing-
man.
you can't see nothing but blood. That's all you see. Obviously, that's not
the case.
This is not the case here. What verse you in?
Genesis 34, we just read verse 13.
Okay, read 14. Come on.
And they
Let's
said
get
unto
it in.
them, and they said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised,
It is.
for that were a reproach
This is
unto
the deceit that they did.
Right.
This is the deceit that Simeon and Levi did because Dinah was in fact defiled and humbled, and they did not want that. Go ahead.
And they said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised.
Come on.
For that were a reproach unto us.
Because that will be a reproach unto us. That's the folly that was wrought in Israel. Go ahead.
But in this will we consent unto you, if ye will be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised. Then will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people.
That was the point, Bishop, that you made. They wanted the women.
They wanted the
That's what
women.
Captain Galilee was saying
Yep.
in Judith. They wanted the women. They
wanted
said,
the
yeah,
women.
we just want to get with your women.
That's it. And we saw how Shechem spit the game. We want to spit the game. We want what he had.
Damn.
We want some of that too. Because we all seen her. They all took a part. Well, you make sure you get her. And we want her sisters. We want her people.
Damn.
You know, people think like that.
Yeah.
You know. Read on.
Now make sure y'all fix the little cracklings.
Verse 17. But if you will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then will we take our daughter,
Which means they were going to take her anyway. Go ahead.
and we will be gone.
And we will be gone.
That means that she did not come back with them.
That's the point right there. Where the hell was she when all this was going down? When does a rape victim stays in the place where the rape happened at?
And then talk to the
And
family.
then talk to the family.
The crazy as hell.
You leave my daughter somewhere chained up in a basement somewhere,
Exactly.
raped, and
Yeah.
the father gonna come and talk to me? That does not make sense. Nobody that's hearing this knows that is completely wrong.
Damn.
No. And she stayed there on her own volition. That's the point.
Yep.
That's the point, on her own volition, because she was defiled to stay there.
And her spirit was
That's
with
what I
him.
mean. Her spirit, his spirit is on her.
I ain't gonna leave that. You go talk to my dad. I'm gonna stay right here.
That's it.
She couldn't even
The
face
man
her
went
parents.
inside her. His spirit is on her.
She couldn't even face her father and brothers.
None of that. That's all. All of that is what people don't read.
And Bishop, on a side note, you got these sisters who run away.
Yes.
And we got brothers, they do the missing persons, trying to find them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we find out, she just went away and slept at some boy's house for
That's
the
it.
weekend.
That's it. That's what it be.
You wasn't raped. You wasn't missing.
None of that at
you
all.
ran away. A
Yep.
lot of sisters like that.
Where we at? What verse?
Verse 18.
Read.
And their words pleased Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son.
Go ahead.
And the young man deferred not to do the thing because he had delight in Jacob's daughter. And he
So
was
I get to have her for real. I got the father's blessing. That's how he's thinking. Go ahead.
and he was more honorable than all the house of his father.
He cut his off first.
Stop. Say it again.
And he was more honorable than all the house of his father.
How in the hell do you give the title of honorable to a rapist?
Exactly.
Damn.
How do you give the title honorable to a rapist? That was the bomb right there.
That's it.
I told you.
Yep.
So that verse right there just told all of us that Shechem was not a rapist, but he did humble Dinah and defiled her mind, and that's why Simeon and Levi were wroth, because her mind was defiled. Yes, he had physically laid with her at this point, but it was because her mind was first defiled. Okay, now, because if you talk about, well, I'm gonna mention, get the scripture on Tamar. Just hold that to get an idea. Before we do that, I'm getting ready to play a clip to give you an example of how if Dinah was raped, sexually assaulted, she would have acted like an example of what we're about to see on the screen. I'm about to show y'all something. This was this movie that came out in the 80s. This movie was called The Accused. I saw the movie in the 80s, and it was so disturbing I could barely watch it. This is not a movie. Let me get my bearings together as I talk about this. This movie, and I talk about it being graphic, even though it's, I can't, because we're not going to show anything that's, that's not PG and the rest of it. But this scenario about what happened there was so gruesome. You can't watch that with your wife.
Right.
You cannot watch that with a female because while you're looking at it, for one thing, she's looking at it, imagining that could be her. And her whole spirit would be traumatizing for any woman to even watch this. And it was put up, and this was based on a true story. I did a little bit of research on it. This was based on a true story. So this really actually happened. It's this particular situation. But what you're about to see, this is a clip from the movie. Very short clips. I'm just doing it just to stay within the safety of being able to tell stories and so forth. But this is a woman. You're going to see her action because this was a real rape. And when you're talking about a rape, you're talking about something that is nowhere near consensual, nowhere near humbling, none of that. Nothing of what we just read, you can imagine out of this scene here. It's very close, but you're going to hear it. You're going to get the understanding. So, and then we're going to read, let's do this first. Read Deuteronomy 22, 25 to 27 again. And then we're going to play them clips. And then we're going to move on.
Yes, sir. Deuteronomy 22, verse 25.
Yeah, you know what? We're moving through this chapter. We're doing pretty good, brothers. Come on.
But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field.
Whether she's betrothed or not, she belongs to, because betrothed meaning that she belongs to a man that's promised to her. Okay? If she's not promised to anybody, that means she still belongs to her father. Okay? That's what Numbers 30 is about? Mm-hmm. What it says about the vow.
Yes, sir.
He has to give his daughter to her husband. Okay? So she's still under her father's care. The point that I'm making is that a woman is never to be on her own, period, at all. Any heartbeat of her life. There's always men responsible for women. From the moment they're born to the second they die, there's always a man responsible for the woman. So to make the point about her being betrothed, that's not 100%. Because whether she's, quote unquote, unmarried, she still belongs to her father. And even when they come inside the body, they belong here. If they're past the age and done all the good works and all that, there's still a responsibility of the spiritual fathers for these sisters. They've always got a man over them. That's the point.
So basically, Bishop is saying that the sisters are never single.
That's
were either
exactly what I'm saying.
Under your father, or you were married to a man. You were never just single.
And the father had to give you that. Had to give that to you. That's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying. That's why she's always carrying a man's name. Okay?
Wow.
Read.
Deuteronomy 22, verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field.
Or any woman in the field.
And the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die.
Read.
But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing.
The reason why you don't do nothing to the damsel because she did not ask for it. She didn't flirt to get it. She didn't entice. She did none of that. She was simply really grabbed and raped. Go ahead.
There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter.
That's the equivalent to a rape. When you raise up to kill your brother, while you doing that to a woman, that's the same penalty. It carries the same weight as you murdering your brother. Go ahead. Is that it?
For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried.
That's the difference. And she cried. You don't hear nothing about Dinah crying at all. She stayed in the house.
Exactly.
While they went to go talk to the father. She stayed there. They had to later go and snatch her ass up out of there. She's still sitting up in there. Where does a rape victim stay in the place where she was raped at? No, those were some good memories in her mind.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And there was none to save her.
But somebody that's really raped, she's crying for help, and there was no one to save her. That's a terrible thing. Could you imagine that? So every sister that has truly had that happen to them, I venture to say, not much. There ain't much of them, but I don't want to go that far. But for everyone that had that happen to you, I pray for justice for you. I'll just put it that way. I pray that you get justice. I'm talking about the real ones. I ain't talking about the people playing games. I'm talking about those that have really been through that thing. I can't imagine something as horrible as a woman going through that.
Because Bishop, go ahead, Cap.
I was going to say, you remember, Bishop, I told you this past Sabbath, we was in Newark, New Jersey teaching, and it was a whole bunch, and I asked a question. I said, how does a woman heal from, let's say, the trauma from being raped or molested? And I said, don't raise your hand, but how many women under the sound of my voice can understand what I'm saying? Women start cussing me out and flipping me off.
Because you're hitting that pain.
From across the street, they was flipping me off as they was getting on the bus. In other words, they still feel it as adult women. You understand? So what Bishop is saying, it's a heavy, traumatic thing.
You can't play with that.
Can't play with it.
And for women that are just having abortions like Skittles,
bam,
and then trying to use those traumatic situations as a way to keep the centers open so that you can continue to have indiscriminate sex and just kill the babies. You want to use these sisters' tragic situations to keep you so you can continue doing your nasty stuff. How dare you do that?
They hoes, Bishop.
How dare you do that? To drag these women's horrible situations into your inability to discipline your behind.
Wow.
That's horrible. So there was none to save her. So that we read 27, right?
Yes, sir.
So now, here's an example of what it looked like.
And just a disclaimer: if you dealing with that type of trauma or something like that, just give it a minute or two. Let us get through the video. We don't want to.
Yes, sir, please, help me out because I'm all over the place.
And Bishop, and if any of these sisters that did happen to them, call law enforcement.
That's
Get
100%.
Call the cops.
Call the cops. Call the cops. Please call the cops.
Because black people be like, don't snitch. No,
the hell with that.
No.
The Leviticus 5 said, if you know about it, tell it.
Right.
Yep.
It's basically saying that soul and that person, that victim, is dead. When you slay a man, that soul is gone.
Could you? We can't put ourselves. Obviously, we can't put ourselves in women, but women look for safety. Women look for protection. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And if a man comes and violate all of that, she doesn't know what to do after that.
Right.
That's that violation. She feels unsafe everywhere she goes. Everywhere she goes, she's constantly looking around. That is a scary damn thing, man. To feel like she could just be violated at any time. I even heard Richard Pryor talk about it. He's a comedian, but he said, but that's a vile thing for a woman to have. He said the Lord should give you vaginas that lock up. He making fun out of it in a sense. But listen to how he said it. He said a man that go and rape a woman, he said, now when they do that, you okay, right to the police. Here we go. we gonna go together. Right. Your ass ain't going nowhere. Right? He said, because that is a vile thing to take away somebody's humanity like that.
Yes, sir.
That's what Richard said. And he's right. There's nothing could be worse than that can happen to a woman. That's horrible. That is absolutely horrible. And for anybody to trivialize those terrible situations so that you could keep an abortion clinic open, you are disgusting. That's crazy. Hit the video. Hold it. Stop. You done messed it up. Stop it. Take it off the screen. I wanted to see when she bit his hand because he was trying to hold her down. Okay? That's what I wanted to see, the beginning of it. Okay? This is what I hate. Okay? What? Stop. Now I'm about to lose it. Come on, Cadillac. Say something.
Start it over like Bishop said.
You see that part there?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what Bishop wants.
Show that.
Show the screen first. Don't play it. Show the screen.
So they can see. His thumb, he was trying to hold her down, and she bit his ass to get this monster off of me so I can get the hell out of here.
Right.
That's the now press the button. Yeah, how she's screaming? This is you ain't gotta stop it, keep it playing. Yeah, how she's screaming?
Yep.
That's how okay, you can take it off the screen now. That's an actual essay. That's how you would respond. You ain't staying in there. She got the hell out of there.
Yep.
She got the hell out of there. With hardly no clothes, I got to go because this is terrible.
Right. Yep.
Now give me the next thing. Give me the next video.
Trauma causes a fight or flight response.
That's what it was.
That's
She
what
had to
did.
get the hell out of there.
She had to flight.
Play it. This is when the credit. This is when it starts off. Go ahead, play it. But they start. Pause it for a second. Put it back on me. What I'm showing when you watch the film, it starts off obviously with the credits. So they basically show a image of the guy that saw it. It was a guy. He wasn't involved in it. He was the one that actually reported it. But he ran out first because the scene was horrible. He couldn't stand it. He ran out of there. Then she ran out. So the part that you're going to see here is a continuation of her jumping off of that pinball machine and running out. And then she's going to run out into the street. That's what you're going to see here. This was, like I said, this was a horrible situation. And this is Esau. I could not condone no matter what people this was.
Right.
This is just horrible, period.
We are not a hate group.
I would not want that. That's just horrible. I would not want to see that happen.
Nope.
You know, it's just. You know, I don't have
That's just
mind.
evil.
That's just demonic.
We don't
Yeah, that's
condone.
evil.
We don't
any acts
condone
of
that.
violence.
No, we don't condone that. That's just crazy. All right, play the other one. So again, what y'all seeing here, just listen to me, brothers. Show what you got on the screen. Put it on the screen. I'm gonna talk over it. Okay, you can put me in a corner or whatever. Or put me in a corner where you can see me while I'm talking about it. This right here is in the daytime of this place called the Mill. That's where the pool tables and the pinball machines. And she was inside with all these men. That's what this was about. So they were in there all day. That's how, because it's going to get dark. Then you're going to see the man run out, which was the one that saw it, and he said it was disgusting. He was the one that called the police. And then the woman that jumped off the table, she's going to run out, and you're going to see her, both of them run out. So that's what you're looking at. Hit the button. So keep it playing. So this is in the daytime. They was talking with their friends or whatever. Then the nighttime came, they started dancing, drinking, and all types of stuff. That's what was happening here. And now it's dark. So what y'all just saw in the earlier clip is what's happening now inside that place. Okay? And that's how the movie starts. Okay? So you're gonna see the man run out because he was playing the Pac-Man or whatever. He was looking back and he saw what was happening. He said, I can't even stand this. He ran the hell out of there. And then she came later. Okay? So there you go. He can't stand. I got to go. This is just this damn ridiculous. How in the world, if Dinah, nobody would have condoned this.
Right.
Nobody would have. That's her. Look, that's how Dinah should have been. She's running. Look, this is horrible. Look how she's running. That's how you would be if you was raped. This is horrible.
Running barefoot
and all that. She's running into traffic. Your mind is everywhere. You just got completely violated. So a stranger picked her up. She didn't give a damn what car she got in. You got to think about all of those things. She didn't know where she was running to. Running in the street with no shoes on. All of that.
Wow.
And that's where you end up. Now they got to do the rape kit on you and all that. Pull hairs off.
Show me your hands, please.
I'm just letting you see just little clips of this. Then we're going to When we gonna get past this here?
What's your usual cycle? Turn around. Raise your
And they go through that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's it. That's enough. That's enough. You take it off. So, what you got to say?
Had Dinah been raped, it would have been the same
been
reaction.
like this. It would have been like
It
this.
wouldn't be, you go talk to my dad.
It would have been none of
I'll
that.
stay here in the bed while you gone, and you let me know how it goes. That's come on, man.
That's the point. Do y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
I wonder if the people on the chat see that. Do they understand?
Do y'all see that in the
Do
chat?
y'all see that?
Let's
Do y'all
see some
understand that
responses.
this was the case? It's a horrible thing that happened here.
Yep.
But Dinah was not raped. She was humbled and she was thus defiled.
Not a special victims unit got to get involved.
Yes.
Police,
Yeah.
all type of stuff.
Yep.
This movie was horrible. It was good in terms of its direction and all that, but that was crazy. Revelation 14:4. While they're answering it, do they see it?
Yes,
They
sir.
understand.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes, sir.
praises to the Lord. All praises to the Lord. They clearly see that. So that's the purpose of why this chapter is in the Bible. It's about making sure that your daughters are protected.
Yes,
to
sir.
keep them from this happening to them.
Yes, sir.
That's the point of this. This is not to illuminate rape and all that. That's not what it was about. Because again, that is a sacred that's sacred ground. Leave that alone. People that have been through that, leave them alone. Don't drag them into your debauchery.
Hey,
Don't do
Bishop, somebody say, why do pastors say that she was raped?
Because the pastor is in a matriarchal church
Exactly.
that deal with that women that run Christianity. That's the reason why they say that.
And he can read, but he can't reason.
He can't
Right.
reason. He can't reason. Read that. Revelation 14:4. We're going to get through this.
Revelation 14:4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins.
So the point that I'm making is about being defiled. This is what happened with Dinah. Okay? These are at this verse here, it's talking about the 144,000. We know this is talking about men. But I'm specifying the word defiled and virgins. Okay? Unless she should be, like it said in Sirach 42:9, or was that the 10th verse, which said, in her virginity, lest she be defiled.
Right.
Because she's supposed to have a virgin mindset to stay into her protected environment. But her virgin mind became defiled. And that's how she ended up going along with everything else and staying in there till the brothers had to go snatch her out of his house.
Right.
That ain't no rape victim. So the point is, don't allow your daughters to get defiled. That's the message in the 34th chapter. Don't allow your daughters to become defiled. That's what the chapter is about. Don't be a daughter of Dinah. Learn how to be a daughter of Sarah. That's the point.
Boom.
Daughters of Dinah deal like Dinah and go out and get defiled
It did.
and get dead. That's what that's talking about. Revelation 14:4-5. Come on.
These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb.
Go to my thing. We're gonna read on. So you can see that it says these were they which were not defiled. Their minds were not corrupted by philosophies. That's what the verse actually is going into. Us as men, we're not defiled. We repented and our slates were clean. That's what this is talking about here. Okay. Read on.
Verse 5. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of God.
That's how our sisters are supposed to be. They're supposed to be up underneath the protection of their fathers so they can have some idea about not having guile in their mouth, and they can be without fault before the Most High. Okay? Before their fathers and before their husbands, so they could be without fault. That's the point. Okay?
And they're without fault because they're not defiled.
They're not defiled.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the point. Okay? Put this thing up here. Is the accused. I wanted to make sure I remembered. Read that.
Yes, sir. Yes. Is the accused
No,
based on yes.
that was my question there.
Is the accused based on a true story?
That means the movie. Is the movie The Accused, is it based on a true story? Listen.
Yes. The 1988 film The Accused, starring Jodie Foster, is loosely based on the true story of the 1983 gang rape of Cheryl Arroyo in New Bedford, Massachusetts.
You hear that term, gang rape? How the hell are you going to trivialize this? Gang rape. I mean, it's no different if it's one or it's all bad because you didn't want none of these dudes on you.
Right. Exactly.
Go ahead, read.
In New Bedford, Massachusetts, the film dramatizes the shocking incident and the subsequent trial, which garnered national media attention.
So you get that. Mm-hmm. That's what. So the movie was based on this here. Okay. Now.
Wow.
Give me Titus. We're talking about being defiled now. Give me Titus chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. Let me show you what happened to Dinah.
The book of Titus, chapter 1 and verse 14. Not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth.
So, being deceived, being beguiled, being enticed, being humbled is taking you away that turns your mind away from the truth. Turns your mind away from your fathers. Turn your mind away from your elders. Turn your mind for those that really care for you, sisters. You have to be careful to not allow your daughters to be defiled, where they're removed from the protection. That's the point. Go ahead.
Unto the pure, all things are pure.
Come on.
But unto them that are defiled.
But unto them that are defiled, this is what happened to Dinah. Go ahead.
And unbelieving.
And unbelieving, go ahead.
Is nothing pure.
Go ahead.
But even their mind and conscience is defiled.
That's the point right there. So that's what gets defiled. So when Dinah was defiled, her mind was defiled against the principles of her fathers, against the principles of her brothers, against the whole culture. That's why we read earlier when it said it was a challenge about culture, because her mind was removed from that. She was willing to stay there and let the whole nation get hung up in that daggone thing. Remember, they went to talk with us. What if we would have said, yes, take all the women? She would have stayed there. Dinah I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. She would have stayed there. If we would have said yes, she would have stayed there. Y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
This is some heavy stuff, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Go back to Genesis. Genesis 34, we're going to read verse 20 now.
Genesis 34 and verse 20. And Hamor and Shechem his son came unto the gate of their city and communed with the men of their city, saying, These men are peaceable with us, therefore let them dwell in the land and trade therein. For the land, behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only herein will the men consent unto us for to dwell with us, to be one people, if every male among us be circumcised as they are circumcised.
So we deceived them. Okay, and they went and told their people, well, they told them and said, no, they're willing to do it. Y'all can have all their women. So they're all excited about it. Damn, this is crazy, ain't it? Mm-hmm. Eli, you see this?
I'm looking at it, Bishop. It's heavy.
You're chewing on it, right? You see it.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, Bishop.
Come on.
So Shechem takes it back to the men that was there.
Yes.
And basically is telling them, hey, we made the deal.
We made the deal. We made the deal. Y'all see how I did it? Mm-hmm. Y'all could do the same thing.
Damn.
That's what went down. And that's the reason why I said they defiled her, because they were all in cahoots with this thing.
Yep. Y'all want one of these Hebrew women? This is what you got to do. This is what I do.
Damn.
Yep.
And that's why I say he was the first one to take his foreskin off. Remember that? Mm-hmm. You read that earlier when it said it was honorable.
Verse 19.
They said, this is how you get it done.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Verse 23. Shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us.
So that whole point was to take everything from Jacob and them. They had no intention on really trading and it being equal. They wanted the daughters.
Yep.
And then now you're seeing the cattle, all of the stuff that we had. That was their intention.
That's Nukas.
Yep.
That's how Nukas move.
Well, if they got daughters and you marry their daughters, then the inheritance becomes yours. That's what they thinking.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's heavy, Cap.
Damn. Go ahead.
And unto Hamor and unto Shechem his son hearkened all that went out of the gate of his city, and every male was circumcised, all that went out of the gate of his city. And it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each man his sword and came upon the city boldly and slew all the males.
Tore their ass.
Tore them up. Go ahead.
And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house.
Whoa, and what?
And took Dinah out of Shechem's
So her behind was still sitting there. They had to go retrieve her ass out of that man's house. We don't give a damn what your brain is saying. You coming home.
Right.
That's the point. But I love him.
She basically ran away.
That's it. No, bring your ass here.
He dead.
You coming home. You coming home. That's it.
So
you have to sit here defiled and stained, but your ass ain't going back over there.
So in other words,
that's how you would be.
The father's utterly refused.
He's utterly refused. That's the point.
Can't
He's
happen.
utterly refused. Go ahead.
And took Dinah out of Shechem's house and went out. The sons of Jacob
What
came.
verse you in?
That was verse 26, now 27.
Read.
The sons of Jacob came upon the slain and spoiled the city because they had defiled their sister.
Because they had they changed her.
Yep.
They changed her. She's not really our sister anymore in terms of how she's supposed to be in spirit. He put a spirit on her. Mm-hmm. You don't want to see that mess happen, and I ain't give you to him. What the hell is his spirit doing on you? Go ahead.
They took their sheep and their oxen and their asses and that which was in the city and that which was in the field and all their wealth and all their little ones and their wives took they captive and spoiled even all that was in the house. And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, ye have troubled me to make me to stink among...
Wait a minute. Whoa. Did y'all hear this?
Come on, man.
Read that again.
And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi,
the father of a supposed rape victim, said what?
ye have troubled me to make me stink among the
I
inhabitants.
wouldn't give a goddamn who I stink before my daughter was raped. Exactly. That's telling you that was not happening.
Exactly.
Read that again.
And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, ye have troubled me to make me to stink among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites. And I being few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me.
So, wait a minute. I had something that I wanted to bring out on this because he was worried. I had it. I didn't put it in here. In one of the commentaries, where's that at? Say something. Say something. We still got some time.
What we read right now, brothers and sisters, is not the mind of a man whose daughter was just raped. If his daughter was just raped, why would he be angry or use the terminology that he just used with dealing with his sons who basically went to avenge their sister? Mm-hmm. They went to avenge their sister. If your daughter was raped, you applaud and it was like, y'all got to it before I could.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But that's not the case here. Stop listening to the Christian church.
Hey.
Get out of the Christian church if you want to understand the Bible.
Hey, Cap, he basically said, we ain't dealing up right with them.
Right.
Say it again?
He basically telling them we didn't deal up right with them. We supposed to went into this agreement with them.
Right.
That's what he's telling them.
So basically, our forefather Jacob did a diligent inquisition. Mm-hmm. He could conjecture. Wait a minute. No, that didn't happen like what y'all want to think it had. That's why he was mad at his sons. Like, whoa, y'all jumped the gun and went and killed everybody, and she did it willingly.
That's the point. That's the point there. Right.
He said, now it seems like we ain't holding our end of the bargain.
Right, now we seem unjust. Now y'all done told them to get circumcised. They can have the they can have the daughters, but then you go kill them after they get circumcised. Right. Now we look like we're unjust judges. Mm-hmm. And she did that on her own. Basically, we gonna get killed because of her stupid behind.
That's what he's saying. That's the point. That's what's happening.
Right.
Went out there. Hey, get 2 Timothy 3 and 7 real quick. Start at 6.
They basically tricked him.
Yeah, but Jacob was a man of integrity.
Right, exactly.
You understand? Mm-hmm. Our forefather was a man of integrity. So he was basically saying that y'all was wrong for the way y'all went about it.
I got what I wanted. Right. I was going to be mad as hell if I didn't get this in here.
Yes, sir, Bishop. Mm-hmm. You got it real quick, 2 Timothy 3 and 6.
2 Timothy 3 and 6.
Go ahead.
For of this sort are they which creep into houses.
Go ahead.
And lead captive silly women.
Go ahead.
Laden with sins.
That was Dinah. Dinah was a silly woman laden with sins. She went out there and she went to be around the daughters of the land, and she ended up getting herself defiled. She got enticed by this man. He spoke to her in a certain manner. She gave up the draws, and her father found out and said, you know what, this is not a rape case. She did that willingly.
Right.
She submit. That's why it says defiled, the key word that Bishop brought out, it said humbled.
Yes.
She for a woman to be humbled, she has to lay down and allow you in. That's what it means. She humbles herself, because if she don't want you to get in, she gonna push, she gonna fight, she gonna scream.
do like what we saw in that video.
Right. But if she wants you in, she's gonna humble herself
and stay there.
Yep.
They had to go get her.
Up in the house.
She in there living good in Shechem house.
Now, read that verse again that you just read about what the brothers did. What verse was that?
Oh, Genesis.
Genesis. What was the verse?
34 and 30.
Is that what we was at?
I think it's verse 30.
Yes. Read that.
Genesis 34 and verse 30. And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, ye have troubled me to make me distinct among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I being few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me and slay me, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house.
So my whole family will be at risk because of the actions of what she did. That's what he's saying. He said, because she went out there and did this, and you brothers went self-willed, and you went and did this unadvisedly, and now you brought all of this heat on us. And, you know, if it had been a case of rape, he wouldn't care.
Right.
Now, put up the thing here that I just sent. Read that.
This is Jacob's passivity versus sons.
Versus his son's
Wrath.
wrath. That's the verse that we just read.
Right.
Read the verse again, then we're going to read this. Take that down.
Genesis 34 and 30. And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, ye have troubled me to make me distinct among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I being few in number.
So the question that you got to, as you're reading this, does this sound like a man whose daughter was raped?
No.
No. Okay, read.
And I, being few in number, they shall gather.
So I'm concerned about me now. She went and did what she did, and you brothers trying to avenge her, but look at the hell you about to bring on me.
Right.
Go ahead.
They shall gather themselves together against me and slay me, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house.
Damn. So the rest of us that's keeping the commandments of the Lord, you risk all of that because she went out there and got caught up, and you brothers went to try to defend her, and look at what you did. When she should have never took her ass over there.
Exactly.
That's the statement. That's what's being made. Now put the thing up there that I just showed you. Jacob's passivity versus the son's wrath. So you got Jacob's passiveness in what we just read here in the 30th verse versus Simeon and Levi's anger. That's what this is going into. Read. Many
scholars, such as those at the Jewish Theological Seminary, point to a leadership crisis in Jacob. His passive response to the violation of his daughter is contrasted with the unbridled and deceitful vengeance of Simeon and Levi. Jacob's primary concern appears to be his social standing and safety, making me a stink to the inhabitants rather than the moral weight of the act.
Do y'all get the point here? Why would I care about a social standing if my daughter was raped?
Exactly.
That's the point here. That's reasoning. We just reasoned to figure all that out. Read on.
Verse 31. And they said, should he deal with our sister as with an harlot?
What that part mean? Shall he deal with our sister as with a harlot? So they're trying to win their wrath case over his passivity. They're trying to win their wrath case over his passivity. But to treat her like a harlot. So they're upset with that. But Jacob is basically saying she put herself in that case.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She put herself in that. And if we could have redeemed her without threatening of losing everything, I would have went for it. But now you're putting us all at risk.
Right.
When she went and dealt with that and he treated her like a harlot, that's on her. That's basically what he's saying without saying it.
That's a man of the Most High.
That's a man of the Most High. That's
accountability. All of that he's showing.
That's what he's showing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's showing. Now, give me. I didn't write this down, but I'm going to give it out there because I'm coming to the closing, and I'm going to get these other parts that I was talking about. Give me Luke, about the brother, sister, mother, and all that one.
14, Luke 14.
Yes. Trying to get my thoughts together. You were saying that Jacob was a man of the Most High,
yes, sir,
because he just dealt with the angel.
Right.
So this is the kind of mindset that he had.
Right. 14:26.
Yes, sir, I got it. Luke 14, verse 26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, in his own life also, he cannot be my disciple.
Jacob was Christ's disciple. And he said that the children go off and you about to bring devastation because my two sons went to try to deal with you when your ass shouldn't have been over there in the first place. I'm not getting my house torn up because of that evil stuff that you did. Your ass should have stayed here. Right. So that's what we're telling our daughters with this minor Dinah that can't hear nothing because they got that damn helmet on. You know we're about to show that. Yeah. Well, how much time I got left? I got a little bit of time. We're going to get it in. And I'm glad that we got past that. So, again, I just want to make sure that everybody understands that we're not dealing with a rape case. Right. The point of this chapter was for brothers, mothers, and fathers to keep their daughters in straightly, especially if they're shameless. You got to watch over them because they will bring hell on you. Not only shame, they can bring destruction. They can mess your whole life up if they start going off. Tear your house to pieces. Mess your whole mind up.
Bishop, you realize what you just did?
What I just did?
You just corrected over 1,700 years of lies. You know they've been teaching this since the councils of Nicaea and all that stuff. Right. They've been saying, yeah, you know she got raped. Now you done went through that with reasoning in 2026 and said, nope, that ain't what it is.
Right. All praises to the Lord.
Correcting their ass. All praise to the Most High.
All praise to the Lord.
All praise to the Most High.
Make it crystal clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So praises that everybody got that. So in closing, we can conjecture that Dinah didn't expect to get laid, but once she wandered out, she was allured and defiled. Defiled to the point where she allowed this to happen. That's the reason why I said she wasn't raped. Okay, because she allowed it to happen. Rape is in a category by itself, like I was saying earlier. Although a very serious and almost being a taboo subject, we find it necessary to discuss because that violent act in many circles is being used as an excuse for black and Hispanic women as a vulnerable poster board to keep abortion legal.
Yep.
That's why they're doing it.
That's why they're doing it.
So where did this misinterpretation about Dinah come from? You just pointed it out. What was it? The council of
all those different councils and all that stuff they had. Yep.
It primarily came from Christianity, which is matriarchal in its doctrine, which dominates men. This is Eve against Adam. Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 44. This is what we're dealing with when we're talking about daughters of Dinah.
Dinanites.
Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 44. Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverbs against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter. Thou art thy mother's daughter that loatheth her husband and her children.
A lot of these sisters teach their other sisters. Now, we ain't ready for that yet. We still got some more time to go. We ain't ready for that yet.
We cooking.
We still cooking. Brother's about to put the slides up. No. We're going to roll a little bit more. What was I just saying?
Ezekiel.
Sisters will teach the other sisters.
Yeah, they teach the other sisters about being disrespectful to their husbands, being disrespectful to their fathers. That's what they got all these groups for. Read that statement again to get my thought together.
Thou art thy mother's daughter that loatheth her husband and her children.
So they got whole groups where these sisters flock to. And they learn how to be disrespectful to their men, learn to be disrespectful to their fathers, brothers, everybody. And they got this matriarchal mindset where they can't deal with the patriots. They hate the patriots. They hate the fathers. They hate direction. They hate order. They hate structure. And a lot of women flock to that thing. And then when they get pregnant from their non-discipline, they run to the abortionists. And by normal sense, if it was a clear understanding that all of the people that are aborting babies was because of promiscuity, they would have been shut that down. But because people are advocating and saying, well, what about the rape victims? And they're using that to keep it open when they don't give a damn about people being raped. The only reason why they want it open is because they want to continue to operate with impunity for the wicked things that they're doing up underneath, away from their fathers and away from their protections, brothers and so forth. Okay? Play that Clubhouse clip. I sent it to you. Just listen to this.
Viciously.
Like, it's too much sense. This brother's making too much sense.
So this
Gotta
was
get out of here.
what date was this? This was what was the date that this aired? Because brothers can go back and check it out. It's on YouTube, and you can actually. Because I ain't gonna play the whole thing. I ain't got time to play all of this.
Was it last Friday?
It was.
Might have been like last Thursday.
Last Thursday, I think it was before
Thursday
Friday.
night?
Yeah, it was
before
Thursday.
Friday.
Thursday night because it was the brother called me early in the morning, and it was already about to. It was about to just go up as a repeat, but this is matriarchal. Her name is Jude. She got on the brothers for calling him Jude. He mispronounced her name, and she took offense to it. Okay, Judith on Clubhouse. Go ahead, hit the button.
I'm not doing shit for my people.
Oh, praise. All right, this is what you had on the topic.
Thank you for inviting me back, Boost Man. So
Dang, sis, you got on me about mispronouncing your name. You just called me Boost Man.
yeah, because you mispronounced mine.
Sis, come on.
Oh man, she's like a big.
Y'all
She a big kid.
Y'all shaking your head already because y'all can hear the spirit in her. This is what you call a matriarchal woman. This woman don't care about the order or nothing. This is crazy. Go ahead.
Well, and hey, Judge, I guess we can be playmates because that's all you do is joke around.
She just said I mispronounced your name because you mispronounced my main name. How old is this lady?
But you know what? This is my thing. But you guys always say, hey,
we always play around, but you came on here and called me Boost Man. Wow. There's nothing playful about that.
You guys always say correction is a good thing, but then when I try to correct you, just like you know how to pronounce my name, it's a problem.
Sis, that name, it could be pronounced. I've never seen that. I asked you how to pronounce it, and I apologize for mispronouncing your name, and you got offended just because of the way I pronounced your name.
Wait, you apologized?
I said sis. She said, because I said Judith. I thought it was Judith. She said, no, Judette. And I was like, dang, sis.
Wait,
call me Boost.
Wait, hold up. She got
comment
mad.
on this if
I
y'all
thought
want.
you maybe said her name like messed up. You said Judith and it's Judeth, and she got mad about that.
No, it's not Judith. There's no TH. It's just Judette.
Yeah, it is.
Easy.
So you made him.
By the beginning of the entire how it even starts, you already know what you're
Exactly.
dealing with.
Exactly.
Spiritually, you can already see who you're dealing with: combative, egotistical, angry, against authority. Everything Bishop just outlined.
Impudent.
Yep.
Yes,
Exactly
impudent. Those words there. But y'all can actually. I wanted to play it, but I let it ride. I let it ride. Play on some more because I don't want to say and then y'all don't actually hear us say it. Go ahead.
Hey, so he made a mistake. He wasn't making fun of your name. He actually made an actual mistake.
I don't know. You have to ask him. I don't know.
Yes, I made an actual mistake, sis. And you
Hey,
got
listen. Remember what I said yesterday about black men? The reason they mistreat black women because they got evil mothers. Imagine her being your mom.
He would have had a great life. He was like, Mom, you were the bomb. I love you, Mom. That's how he would have felt if
I
I
gotta
was
be
his mother.
Boost Man. I only got one O in this. Why I gotta be Boost Man? This is crazy.
But I was Judith.
Think about
I
that.
was Judith.
Imagine her being your mom. This is an
My
adult
kids
woman.
love me, sir. You don't even know me. You don't know me,
It would be
Judge.
horrible, bro.
I think your kids probably regretted that you were their father.
Terrible, Judge.
I'm sure he does.
Go ahead, play.
Right now, we share a warehouse.
Well, it don't even matter. I didn't even come on here to talk about your family life. That's not why I'm on stage. I don't care.
All right,
So
black woman. Changing my name to that.
Black woman.
Black man.
Black woman.
Black man.
You hear the contention?
Listen to black women.
Don't listen to black men.
But I got a question for black men. She said don't listen to black men, but now she about to ask black men a question.
What is your question
See,
for
look,
the
there you go.
Israelites? Is it how to pronounce the name? My name is
And the only
Well,
reason why
okay,
she wanted to ask
I'm
the
over
question,
the
because she's
name
going to mention
part.
it. Go ahead.
Okay.
I actually had a valid question.
What's your question?
Okay. So I pretty much agree with everything you guys say as far as the Bible is concerned.
Bull.
Not personal issues or personal opinions. But when it comes to the Bible, I pretty much
She's so
agree.
holy.
But there's one thing that I just can't see it the way you guys see it. And that is Genesis 34.
Now, so that's letting you know what she really called for, because she heard, because she mentioned it, and the brother called me. He said, "Yo, she talking about the class that you went over a while back." So he said that she's responding to what you said. So that's what this was about. So my point is, the proper breakdown of this scripture tore her behind up.
Yep.
And that's the point. That's why she's mad. She talking about she believes in everything that the Bible says. No, she don't. You don't believe in anything that dealt with order and discipline and patriarchalness. She ain't with that. That's why she talked the way. And Judge gonna deal with it. He says she's very disrespectful and all that. Yep. That's all in here when you check it all out. But my point is, and again, my hope is, because somebody might think I have a personal thing. No. I would pray that even this sister here, I don't want to say her name because she'll say I said it wrong. But I pray that she get her stuff together and repent and just water up under the bridge. I'll leave it like that. I don't have any animosity, because she's basically a mouthpiece for many other women that speak and think the same way. So this is not a personal thing. But yes, Dinah was not raped. And it bothers women like this because they want to use that card to keep abortions open. That's the point.
And they don't realize now you're implicating Jacob as being an unrighteous man, as an ungodly father.
Exactly.
Everybody that's involved in this, you're implicating them as being unrighteous. So you're right in 2026, living a life full of sin. But Jacob, our father, who wrestled an angel and received the name Israel, who God used, every time you hear about it, it said, "I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." That man was so unrighteous that his daughter was raped, and he let the nigga go free.
Yep.
No, come on, stop.
Exactly, that's crazy. He was gonna make a deal,
right? Yeah.
After his daughter was raped, everybody could figure that out. Everybody knows the difference with that, so we don't have to beat that anymore.
Yes, sir.
I vehemently believe that the victims of this horrible crime deserves not to have their experience trivialized to allow these promiscuous sisters to keep rebelling against their fathers, against moving against their fathers, okay, the way they've been doing. Okay, first of all, my intention, obviously, is not to particularly shame Dinah, but rather point out the danger of being enticed and allured away from your protection. That's what I was saying before. That's what this is about. I'm not simply trying to prove if Dinah was, and to also remove the supposed pure innocence and veneration of Dinah's purported victimized incident. I speak to this because psychologically, this incident is being used to exonerate many women today who are in fact disobeying their fathers and their protective loved ones, and end up in situations that clearly shows that the results in these incidents are happening because they sought out these men, and these men went in and even perhaps went too far. The emphasis should be more importantly be placed on the fact that these women who fit these types of incidents came by way of their wandering out of their father's protection and their loved ones. Nobody in their right mind would ever condone any acts of violence upon a woman, full stop. Okay, I think I just butchered everything that I just read.
It made perfect sense.
Made perfect sense.
It made perfect sense.
I was trying to. Anyway, play my next video. I got to show you this here because this is horrible. I got to bring this out. Yes, play that.
Is it okay to rape women according to God? According to the scriptures of the Most High? Yes. You GMS bums, God is going to judge you.
That's
right. Because if any of you bring any sister here, you're going to be dealt with. If you touch any woman, you're going to be dealt with. Is it okay?
So that's the point there. You got people, these are the kind of monsters you want to keep your daughters away from.
Absolutely.
Right.
These are this kind of thinking right here, these guys are murderers. For anyone to think that it's okay and then try to say that the Bible condones this is crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
He said according to the Most High.
I said according to the Most High.
Crazy.
So that's just wild and crazy. I'm still trying. I guess I gotta listen to how I read this because I think I was all over the place. I think I lost my training there. But did it make sense what I read earlier?
Yes, sir, Bishop. Yes, sir.
Okay, I gotta check it out. But I think I didn't bring it out. What you just saw there was brothers in a camp called GMS. Okay, that I wonder if they still teach that. I don't even know if they still teach it. I don't know. I'm not into that. But that immature mindset is absolutely terrifying. And these types of men are looking to defile our daughters of Sarah. We got to make sure that don't happen. I'm talking to us as men and as fathers. We got to make sure that does not happen. But we must address the haughty spirit in these women today who put themselves in situations where fathers have to rush in and try to save these women from their own shameless actions. Okay, and that's what was basically going to happen with Jacob. He would have to risk his whole family to rescue her out of that thing when she brought that on herself. We can't be that way. The best thing to do is to prevent it in the first thing. So let's see. I want to go to some of these things that I got up here because we're going to end it. We're going to end this. Go back. I want you to see something because I wanted to talk about this abortion thing that everybody's running with. Give me 1 second. I'm going to tell you where to go. Go to the noose. Wake up. Y'all see that?
Damn.
Bring that out. Y'all
got it on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Bring it out, Liam.
Wake up! 3,500 African Americans aborted every 72 hours. 3,500 African Americans lynched in 1882 to 1968.
Damn.
So you got the same number of murder on both sides of the coin. Here you have lynch between 1882 and 1968. And you have 3,500. Then you come to the abortion clinics and you have the same number of black people murdered every 72 hours. This is the reason why they want to keep those centers open, okay? Using this terrible violent crime of rape, like I said before, as a subterfuge to keep abortion legal is outright disrespectful to real victims of rape. Although rape only makes up less than 1% of unaccountable and promiscuous black and Hispanic women who seek abortions. Basically, it seems like our women still are in their sins and they want to remain a murdering statue of a meat grinder.
Damn.
That's basically why they keep those clinics open. And dumb men will put their seed in these women and allow them to grind up their seed. And they are pure stupid for doing that. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
You lay down with the woman, and then she allows you to impregnate her, and because the abortion place is open, she'll let that be. She said it feels better. And she don't care about the child that's going to get chopped up. So she'll go there, and as long as that place will allow those parts to be torn up in her, she'll do it again and again and again and again and again. And hearing the immorality of that particular situation is threatened to close. So it said, instead of closing it, what about the people that get raped? You understand? To keep it open. So you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to piece all of this together.
Yes, sir.
So that's why they do that. But I think it's a terrible thing to go get the real victims of rape to even bring that into your argument so that you could keep that thing going. So I said it's being used as a subterfuge. Go to the next thing. The word. Bring it out. Because I don't know if everybody dealt with that word before, but let me just bring it out. Subterfuge. Read it.
Subterfuge. Deceit used in order to achieve one's goal.
So the deceit is bringing abortion into your argument because you don't give a damn about the aborted people. You don't care about their feelings. You don't care about all the trauma that they go through. You want to use it so that your goal is to continue to have them to chop babies up so that you can continue to go back and have more sex, more sex, more sex. That's why you're doing it. And you're going to use 0.5% to try to justify keeping the places open so that you can continue to butcher these babies up.
This is sick.
This is sick. This is the kind of stuff we're dealing with. Give me the next one, the origin.
The origin.
This is the origin of where the word comes from. Come on.
The late 16th century, from French or from late Latin, subterfugium, from Latin subterfugere, escape secretly.
So, in other words, escape accountability, escape responsibility, escape being charged with what the real issue is. You want to hide it and say that you're really concerned about rape victims, where you're not. You want to keep it open because you want to continue to be nasty as you continue to be.
And that's why in Proverbs 28 it says, "He that covereth his sins shall not prosper."
Exactly.
That's them covering their sins.
Exactly. Give me the next one. The next picture.
So that's why his sister would be mad on Clubhouse.
Yes.
She needed Dinah to have be raped.
That's the point. That's your point. That's the point right there. She needed that to be in the Bible so that they can say it does exist.
Exactly.
In the Bible. No. Read that.
Rape as a means of abortion as compared to abortions performed due to consensual intercourse.
That was my question, so I wanted to see what comes up. I wrote that in the top. Rape as a means of abortion as compared to abortions performed due to consensual sex. I want to see what the system had to say. Read it.
While research indicates that rape-related pregnancies occur at a significant rate, they represent a small fraction of total abortions compared to those resulting from consensual intercourse.
Just telling you what it is. Give me the next slide. Statistical comparisons.
Statistical comparison of abortion reasons. Historically, most patients seeking an abortion cite reasons related to life circumstances.
So they get rid of babies because their life ain't right. What the hell you got your legs open for? You're going to get pregnant, and then you're going to say, oh, well, I can't take care of them. Let me grind them up. Go ahead.
Financial stability or timing rather than sexual assault.
You hear this? Financial stability or timing rather than... So they just said, I wasn't ready for them or whatever.
Right.
And you will use these as reasons to kill the baby. So that's the reason why you want to keep it open. Go ahead, bring it up.
No, they'll say, I need to live my life.
Exactly.
And this baby will hinder me from doing whatever.
Exactly. That's the point. This is sick. This is sick behavior.
So then why did you open your leg?
That's the point. And you ran from your fathers. You ran from the people that try to protect you, to set you up right, so you don't even have to deal with stuff like this.
Right.
You can have your babies the right way and welcome those babies into the world. I got to say this, and I'm glad that I'm on this particular thing right now. I love looking on the telegrams, brothers. Okay, and I see that another family had a baby, and they show the baby, and that's a beautiful thing. Right. The reason why I say that is because I always make the point, like when I worked in the hospital, white folks having babies. Everybody in the waiting room jumping up and down, clapping. They welcoming that baby soon as you understand what I'm saying? When black people come down, they sending messages downstairs, don't let that nigga up, say he be the baby's father. And stuff like that. The child is coming into a world of complete chaos. That's the environment that the child gonna go in. So I'm glad to say that among us, when our sisters have baby, they bring the baby, they show the baby and all that. And it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, congratulations to the house of so-and-so. That baby is loved and welcomed. There ain't no damn abortions going up in here. These babies are loved, and that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. Read. Where you at?
The bullet point.
Yes.
Abortions due to rape.
Here it goes.
Multiple studies include those from the Guttmacher Institute. Consistently estimate that approximately what? Approximately 1% or less of abortion patients identify rape as the primary reason for seeking the procedure.
So that means more than 99% of them is because they wicked and rebellious as hell, like Dinah.
So anytime somebody comes to you and they want to say, well, what about the rape victims? No. It's just because they want to continue on. They want
to keep it open so that they can continue to fornicate, adulterous, all that kind of stuff, and kill the consequence of your unlawful bed.
No accountability.
No accountability. That's what this is about. Read. Where you at?
That was
Okay.
Less than 1%.
Yes. Give me the next slide. Is that it? Yeah, read that.
Abortions due to rape. Multiple studies include those from the Guttmacher Institution consistently estimate that approximately 1% or less of abortion patients identify rape as the primary reason for seeking the procedure. Abortions due to consensual intercourse. Approximately 95% to 99% of abortions follow pregnancies resulting from consensual intercourse.
So there ain't no rape nowhere, so you stop using that. Stop victimizing the real victims of rape for your nasty ass.
Damn.
I'm just saying straight
Right,
shit. Because you do that, but this is what you're really doing. And that's the reason why you want to keep this thing open.
Bishop, 3,500,000 abortions happen in 72
hours.
And 95 to 99% are consensual sex.
That's why they want to keep those places open. Finish that up.
These are typically characterized as unintended pregnancies due to contraceptive failure or non-use.
Show me the next piece. There you go. Read that.
Doing this is not a woman's right. It's murder.
It's murder. It's murder. Murder being done in order to cover up sin and lying on being raped in order to keep the provision legal for murdering children begotten of an unlawful bed, which is a witness against the parents as sinners. Wisdom of Solomon, read that. Put that up there. Next slide. Read. You read it right off the screen?
Yes, sir. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4 and 6. For children begotten of unlawful beds are witnesses of wickedness against their parents in their trial.
That's what we're dealing with.
Wow.
That's what's going on. They are a witness. Children that are begotten of an unlawful bed is a testament against the wickedness of their parents for being in a bed together when they weren't married.
Right.
That's the point there. So,
Damn.
any last words? Because, I mean, I could close it up with that. I got through all of it, pretty much.
All praise to the Most High.
All praise.
All praise. All praise.
Excellent.
Don't be a Dinah.
Don't be a Dinah.
Don't
be a daughter
Dinah.
of Sarah. Don't be a daughter of Dinah.
And Bishop, them babies that get aborted, they feel it.
Yeah, I know.
Babies feel it.
I know that. I know that. I've known sisters that went through that damn thing.
That video that you showed a while back with the when the sperm hits the egg
Yes.
and it just lit up.
The ray of light.
Yep. That's why I was going to say I knew you in the womb. I knew you before in the womb. Damn.
So all praises to the Most High, brothers and sisters. I know I've gotten a little bit excited. Seemed like I was a little angry or whatever, but this is a very touchy subject, as we can imagine. I'm tired, actually. But it needed to be done. Time for the misconception of Bible scripture to be done away with. It's time for us to start doing things the right way. Understand that Genesis chapter 34 was really about how we are supposed to watch over our daughters to make sure that they don't get caught up in situations like that, so that they don't become defiled. Okay, that's what it was about. It was not to illuminate what people try to make it out to be for nefarious reasons. Okay, to keep a clinic open so that you can continue to be a human meat grinder for your wicked ways. Okay, so brothers and sisters, I know those words don't really land on people too well, but I love you all. Believe it.
Yes, sir.
I do. There's a little passion in my voice about it. But at the end of the day, I pray that you all come to repentance, and we would like to inherit the kingdom together. I know I'm trying to, and I hope that all of you all are trying as well. I'm Bishop Yahweh Most High in Christ. Bless you. Happy Sabbath, brothers and sisters. Let's get the credits as we roll on out of here. I'm glad to have Captain Getaliah. He came down in the building.
That's
From
right.
the state of
That's right.
Plantation.
That's right.
Honored to have you
He
here.
escaped the plantation,
Okay.
so he
So
just
get up
I
and-
had to be a Bishop.
all the
Bishop
brothers.
said he's going to break down the whole Genesis 34. I said, Bishop, I got it.
So did I get it? Did
Yes,
you get it?
sir. Yes, sir.
It's got
Clear as
Get in the
day.
head.
Okay, all praises.
Hey,
Clear as day.
we want to give a shout out to the super chat for everyone that we're
Oh,
not
yes.
going. Yeah, we're not going to go through all the names. Quite a few of you donated, so we want to say thank you all for your support. We definitely appreciate it here in the Bible Book of Our Fathers. Please continue to support this truth. Continue to support the Booster Club. All of that, man. We need y'all help. This work can't get done without you. All praise to the Lord.
And we're gonna open up them phone lines too. We gotta get that. I think y'all said y'all know how to do it, right? So some probably in the next one try to get it up here. I gotta find out how y'all do it, so make sure that we can actually talk to the people and all that. So we're working on that as well. All right. So all praise to the Most High, brothers and sisters. take it away.
Also,
Oh, yes, sir. Do not neglect to give alms. Donate to IUIC Gastonia. IUIC.gastonia.nc at israelunite.org. Donate to the Booster Club at IUIC.fundraising at israelunite.org. Don't forget to rate our broadcast, all right? The Bible Book of Our Fathers. Tune in every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Subscribe, share, like.
Okay. Yeah. I was just looking at this thing here about this woman who this case was based on. Cheryl Arroyo. Okay, I think I'm pronouncing her name right. She was an American woman from New Bedford, Massachusetts, who was gang raped in 1983 at the age of 21 by 4 men in a tavern in the city. Her case became national news, drew widespread attention and media coverage of the rape trial. So this was some bad stuff here. This is horrible, you know. And again, the victims that go through stuff like this, this is not no laughing matter. There's nothing to play with. So, you know, no one should be allowed to trivialize this for the sake of wanting to be indiscriminately doing evil, fornicating, and all that. That should not be the case.
Says she passed away in a car accident like 4 years later.
Oh, wow. Damn. And you never, and she was only 21 years, in 1983. So
she passed in, what's that?
86,
something like that.
Yeah. So a lot of psychology. You don't know what caused that.
Yeah.
You don't know what caused that. That's horrible, man. That's horrible. All right. So, brothers and sisters, we say shalom. Most High in Christ bless you. Happy Sabbath.
Christ bless.
Shalom. Most High in Christ bless.
Most High in Christ bless.